Hey, hey, sis.
Hey, shalom, everybody. Shalom, sis.
Hello, sis. Isn't she lovely?
You are too, sis. You are too.
Thank you. How you doing this week? How's your weekend?
Busy week, but hey, I'm here. I've been waiting for this day, y'all.
Yes,
Waiting.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And
Milani, beautiful. How are you?
Milani.
Hello, Joshua. Taking the little one to school. All right. All right. Hey, ask away, Joshua. Got to take the kid to school, but if this panel goes like the last one, I'm going to start asking for a lot of clarification on terms and definitions.
All right. Yes,
Sir,
sir.
bring it. I love it.
We have a show for everyone today, and we have special guests on our show as well, don't we, sis?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
You
Would
want
like
to introduce them?
Oh. Hello. Hello. We have the wonderful James and Lady Di. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all for letting us come up here. Thank y'all.
Yes, definitely.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Dating to marriage support.
Yes.
Say,
I love their channel. I love their content. They know I come in when I can, and I put some of that old lady wisdom up in there as much as possible. So they enjoy it, and I really enjoyed their show too. So we had to get them on here for y'all today.
Yes, glad to be here. But yeah, dating to marriage support is literally just talking about topics from dating to marriage, and we just support people who need the support in that way. Because a lot of us didn't have the guidance growing up. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we're young, but we've been together for 11 years. So it's like we've been through stuff and we overcame them. So it's kind of like, okay, let's help people out. Yeah, so that's how we, started off too. One of the ways.
And we also wanted to create a space so people can talk, because a lot of times, like, a lot of people like to kind of, they look at marriage so negatively today's time and relationships so negatively. So, and they try to make it seem like being single is so cool and happy and so fun, but also being in a relationship can be fun too if you want it. So,
right.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can make your own heaven on earth.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can, but they don't want that. They want complicated and difficult. I don't understand that.
Seems like an addiction to drama.
It's like I get headaches after a while. Like I don't like drama I know like when I was young, I would be in drama like elementary school, middle school. I was just like, this is annoying. And then high school, I was like, nah, I'm good. So I don't know how people like women and they're adults, and then some women have children and they still have this mindset. I'm like, aren't you tired? Because I hate being upset. Because when I'm upset, you better move, So I can't see myself like that every other day with a man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see why women think it's okay. It's like at one point, men and women are going to go through issues, but why does it have to be so toxic? Like, why can't you just figure stuff out in a better way? Learn how to speak better. Like some of us came up just talking with slang. And having, different ways to say things. But as you get older, you kind of change your ways. So in a relationship, it's like people just settling into how they were from when they were in high school, when you're supposed to evolve. And I just don't see it. Just weird to me.
It's a lot of grown little children walking around. That's all.
Yes, exactly.
They're comfortable. They're comfortable. It's scary changing because that means you have to reflect and look at yourself and recognize where your strength and where all your weaknesses lie. And a lot of us can't face that.
And that's what I was talking about too, sis. Far as I said it on, I think one of my I think it was my live. When it comes to the importance of having a husband, because they're the ones that mirror our reflection onto us, and they tell us, look, you out of line A, B, C, D, and E, and first thing we want to do is get in our feelings. Like, how dare you tell me I'm doing such and such? But you have to give, keep that inside voice in, sit back and think about it. Like, am I really like this? I'm like, oh, okay. And like I was telling Lady Di and Brother James earlier on their platform, that you really have to, we as women have to go back, sit down and like meditate on what was said to us, and then come back with empathy and apologize, because a lot of people thinking apologize is coming, well, I'm sorry, and a walk off. You actually need that empathy there in order to, because you could say sorry all day long, but you're going to still keep doing the same thing. It's a difference between sorry and saying I'm sorry and apologizing to me.
Absolutely. That's and true. Being able to make those amends, showing that you're willing to change.
That's a good point. Apologizing or just saying sorry. Yeah. It's like there is a big difference. Just saying sorry for the moment, and then the next day and the next month, you just went right back to it, had no thought to change. Then you're gonna say sorry again.
Yeah, Trey says empathy and women is an oxymoron. Not
Come
for
on,
all
Trey.
of us, Trey. Not for all of us.
No. That's those females. Okay, females. It's a difference between females and women, just like it's a difference between men and males.
Yes. How you doing, Jeremy? The Jeremy Hill Show, dropping in briefly. 18. Apology is in the behavior. Let's see here. Oh, excuse me. 18. If you keep doing the same thing, you're not sincere. Absolutely. Absolutely. So run. Run far away if you have anyone like that.
All right.
Trey, apologies in the behavior, not words. So last week we tackled quite a bit. The title was, do husbands really require respect? And we were really focused on the experiences that men have. And we dove deep. We went down, down the path to childhood and the disrespect men experience in childhood, the insults, the being dismissed, and
how the mother start off with showing them a form of how a woman can disrespect them, and they get used to it when they get older. So why a lot of these simps out there and I'm gonna say simps, get offended or whatever. It's a lot of these simps out there that's taking so much smoke and everything and abuse from these women because 9 times out of 10 their mother was raising them like that, and and they think in their mind, well, my mom was like this, that means this is normal behavior, and they don't know how to get out of that.
Yes. And I learned a lot from that conversation. It definitely showed that a woman's words can be just as impactful as a man's fist, as physical abuse. It's the same. And it seems in some cases it can be worse, because that's, it scars us, internally. It will scar a man internally, and often they can't heal from it. And how it can impact their future relationships. Trey gave a great example last week as far as how disrespecting youth can impact future relationships. When it comes to vetting a woman, obviously trust, being overly accommodating,
right? Yeah, but
control. Like a lot of us don't really think of too much about it. Like especially like when young girls get with men that's under control of their mom, and then when they get into that relationship, that mom is still fighting for control over that son, and then she'll try to sabotage that relationship with him and the young girl that he's possibly trying to marry. So a lot of young men gotta understand, like, hey, you gotta let your mom go. You know what I mean? Especially when you get that's why in the Bible it talks about that. You know what I mean? When a man finds his wife, he had to separate, from his family and cleave to your wife. A lot of us gotta go back to those principles, because once I remember we watching a boy, it was like a young man, and he was like cuddled up with his mom, and the girlfriend was recording the video, like what is he doing?
Oh yeah, it was so weird. He was like she was hovering over the kitchen counter, and he was hovering over with her, but right behind her. And I was like, usually like couples do that. Wait, Trey said, ask Lady Di, how does she maintain respect when James is getting on her last name?
Hey, woosah. You say woosah.
She give me a massage. So at first, she give me a massage and a back rub.
At first,
foot massage.
Right. My natural reaction is sarcasm. So I could have a smart mouth without cursing someone out. It's more like a what they used to call me, a subtle something. Listen, so I would just give him a lot of sarcasm, and he did not like that. Like,
yeah, it's like a form of disrespect, sis, when we do the sarcasm, because I have even myself, I have somewhat kind of dark humor, and I have dark humor. I was a nerd, so I was in the comic books, all that other stuff. So the dark humor, the stuff I read when I was growing up, it gets to. I have to watch that with my husband, because I'm like, okay, and he give me that look like, you do you hear what you're saying right now? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, because we don't know. We really have to watch that, because men are more serious, and they already have that on guard. You know what I'm saying? So if you come sideways with him, if you was a man, it'll be a different story. I just put it that way. We really gotta watch that with them.
I didn't know, because I, growing up and just watching people around me, I used to just see women arguing all the damn time. It's straight smart ass. Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, sarcasm.
Wait a minute. That's my husband.
Oh goodness. They interpret it different ways.
Okay, whatever he say, y'all. Whatever he say.
Good answer, sis.
I'm not gonna argue with that one, y'all. I'm quiet.
That was the extra detail about your smart mouth. It was like the dark humor, but at the end of the day, it's smart mouth, right? But I just used to, growing up, I used to always see women arguing, like yelling and pointing at a person's face, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But me having the sarcasm is kind of like, a check, like, you know, but I had to learn, like, okay, because he was not having it from day one. And it took me like how long it took? Like 2 years. I still kind of have it now. I just know now I know to just literally breathe. Don't say something right away.
It can take everything in you to bite your tongue.
Yeah.
Gotta see it.
Hey y'all, it's called the inside voice. You better act like you talk to him in your mind. Be like, okay, but I did such and such, and you did. Because look, I had a slip up the other day, y'all. My husband talking to me, and I'm still talking. He looking at me. He was like, "You still talking?" I said, "Oh shoot!" I felt so. I was like, "Oh." Because we over, like I said earlier. Remember, I was telling y'all earlier that over explaining, we over explain ourselves. And we have that, women, we have that bad. We really do.
We do. And, you know, I still try to figure that out. I'm like, don't you need all this extra detail? Because I do.
No, I don't.
No, they won't yes or no, y'all. Yes or no.
Gosh, that's a challenge.
It's not just yes or no. I got to explain,
the whole story, the who, what, where, and why. So
yes.
Every look, James said, please don't.
Like, man, I'm just
and
trying
they
to
get at us like, come on already.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the next thing. Like, I got 10 other things to do.
Honestly, I don't. So that's where the difference is, men and women. That part I don't like, because I'm like, well, who the hell I'm gonna explain all this detail to? It's still in my head. I want to get it out. Like, I never understand the problem, but regardless of
journaling.
Yes. So I told him back then I used to write or have notes to get it out, because I got to get this out. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how to do it. You don't want to hear it. All right, fine. But, you know, that's still a struggle, though, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm trying to respect him and stuff, but I don't understand why I can't explain when I want to explain myself, because I'm the type of person where I'm real low key. Right. I have friends, but I talk to them, you know, every so often. It's not like every day, every week I'm on the phone chit-chatting with my girls. I don't do that. I'm real chill. I'm more family oriented. I'm more into him. So I'm like, who else am I going to talk to about this?
I'm the same way, sis, because I don't have nobody to talk to but my husband. So he gonna hear all of it. I don't have no friends, you know, none of that. So, you know, I'm
choice.
So
yep. And I like it like that. It just keeps it
Ashley
less drama.
I know, right, Ashley.
Right.
Yeah. Ali. And then a scenario will occur where your husband will ask a question or something will happen, and you're like, well, you would have understood if you would have let me explain everything.
Now that's something I cannot have out my mouth, y'all. I'm sorry, I can't do it, because I'll be like, even us as women, we really have to watch our thoughts on that one as well, because sometimes if we think it's gonna slip out, and then they're gonna be like, okay, you on one today, so you really have to train your mind, you know, your mind on the smart mouthiness and calling them out their names and stuff. As long as you don't have that in your mind, it will never slip out your mouth when it comes to your husband. I'm gonna tell you the truth on that. If it never, it'll never come out your mouth.
Yeah,
I agree. Like, so now, I'm not sarcastic with. I don't know. Have I been sarcastic with you lately?
When you do it, you catch yourself. So
what have you done to me lately?
So she'll do it, and then I'm like, "What you said?" And then she'd be like, "All right," and then she like, "We'll talk about something else."
Yeah. Like I said, I was a lot worse though back then. So now I just literally listen to what he said, process it. Not every conversation, but you know, the ones that we're talking about. And I'm like, okay, how should I respond to this? Okay, I know he wants simplicity. Mm-hmm. How can I give this to him without all the extra? All right, and then I start talking. So I'm a lot better now, and I try not to think of like the negative stuff or anything that's smart. It helps. It helps a lot.
And honestly, like a lot of these like skills that we're trying to get y'all to do, it helps like in a time of need or a time of stress, you're able to communicate quickly and effectively, so we don't need all this. You know, say if somebody was breaking into the house, I don't want to. Hey, I'm scared. What are we gonna do? No, just like, hey, it's two people, one right here. You know, like get straight to the details, and then now you know what I mean, I'm able to make a decision on what's the best way for us to go. And also too, I give one a great example of her did this. One time, like she was driving, right? She was trying to get her mom to the airport, and her tire went flat. So her mom started freaking out. Her mom was like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? I'm gonna miss my flight. Oh, blah 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 blah." And what she was doing, she remained calm. She got over, and her mom was like, "What are you doing?" She called me. She said, "Hey, Jay, I'm on the flat. This is where I'm at." Boom! I got in the car. I was already, you know, what I mean, on my way there, and she parked in the area that I was able to change the tire and all that type of stuff. And then me and her, she switched her car, got into my car, and then she got her mom to the airport in time. But the mindset of when her mom was freaking out, she remained calm. She said, "James, I had a flat tire. I'm right here." And then boom, I was there. So
I love it. I love it. Yes.
So it was a skill that I learned over time. And she was freaking out, and I literally I was listening to her because I want to hear what she was saying, but I had to tune her too because I didn't want to be freaking out with you. And it was scary because I'm in the left lane and I'm driving, you know, faster. And I'm like, damn, yeah, tire. So as I'm processing on when to get over, you know, that was scary. But then she's freaking out, but I got to let James know. So it was like, it was a lot in my head at one time. And then watching the cars, make sure we don't get in an accident. So I see when he was like, you know, men are saying when you freak out or all these emotions, it could kind of hurt you. So if I was freaking out like her, we could have gotten an accident for real. So, you know, and then at that point, I was like, kind of like problem solving. Okay, I want to park here, but this is not as safe because remember, he has to change the tire. We're not calling AAA and all these other people. We actually have a spare and all this. So I was okay. Well, I went to a spot and it wasn't as safe. So I kept driving and I get to another spot. I said, okay, this is safe. It's not like on a hill or whatever. And then it was like perfect. Yeah. But my mom didn't understand. So I think he brought this example because I noticed right then and there, me and my mom was different. My mom is divorced and she doesn't have like another husband or whatever. So, you know, those type of things that I actually learned over time through my father and then through James, you know, and then seeing her not having this skill set because of a lack of a man, because usually men teach you that. And I was like, okay, so I'm understanding like, okay, I understand the difference between of how I was and where I'm at now. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be on that side because she was like going crazy.
Ladies, why do you think we have those tendencies to want to over-explain and essentially tell a story, a novel?
You know what? I don't even know. Even when I was younger, my daddy used to ask me stuff, and I went. But you know what? I have to say, for me, my daddy used to do it. I'm gonna be honest. So I got it from him. A lot of things I learned from my dad. So, and my husband picked up on it. He said, "Okay." He was like, "Okay, Bobby." That was my dad's name. Like, okay,
you can do stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's learned behavior, like what Miss O said, because both of my parents actually kind of do it, but then my dad is like half and half. There's times where he won't over-explain, and there's times he's straight to the point, and it just depends on his mood or maybe what's going on. But since both of them kind of do it, learning and watching it growing up, and pretty much most people I know just over-explain, except, you know, the men I came across and then my husband, I'm like, okay, this is completely different. So I say learned behavior. And then another thing is I never like him to feel that I'm doing something intentional. I think I brought this on our show earlier. I never like him to feel like I'm doing something intentional. That's very important because I want him to know I'm not like these other women that really just want to tear up the relationship and do all this. I'm not like that. I just made a mistake that I'm unaware of. This is just my personality. I'm not trying to be, you know, an asshole or whatever, but this is just what it is. So I just like him to know, you know, I'm still good at heart, but this is just what's going on. So I think more of that maybe for me too is why I like to explain myself so he could get where or why my mindset was like this, you know, not on some, you know, some
BS.
Yeah, right. No BS, right.
On that was just because I was the same way. I'm like, And he was like, why you over explain yourself? Because I want to show you, I want to make sure that it's not ill will, behind it.
Yeah.
So that's what we get all that.
Yeah.
Over
That's the main.
And ladies, like, just let y'all know, like, if we thought something was like, if we thought y'all was like that, number one, we probably wouldn't be with y'all. And then number two, we'll probably ask for like clarification, like, hey, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? But if we don't ask you, we understand like you're not trying to do it. We understand, because we understand what type of woman you are, and we understand why we chose you. So I always had that in the back of your mind. We respect you, we love you, and we know why we chose you.
So that's, even though he's saying that, it's just like, how do I know at that time? Because what if, sometimes our husbands could get mad. And I'm like, okay, you mad. So how do I know that you know I wasn't being like ill will with it? I can't tell because you upset. So then it's like, okay, let me explain. And you got to hear what I'm saying and like understand it and just be moving on.
They don't want to hear it, sis. It's like, just leave them alone, let them go ahead and, cool off. Because I had learned that with my husband. I just let him cool off, whatnot. I did it once and he sat back or whatever. We did our thing and we was back to where we needed to be at. So it was not, he just forgot all about what the hell he was talking about. So.
Exactly. That's all I was talking about earlier. Like, if you step on my feet and you say, I'm sorry, you didn't mean to do it, my foot's still hurting. So it's like, that's what we think about. We still are hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a little while for the pain to go away. Now, when the pain to go away, all right, cool. No, don't worry about it. So that's all it is.
So then over time, right, it happens again and again, like unintentionally doing something. So then patterns, I think of like, because I know like when I see somebody doing the same thing over and over again, I'm gonna think that you just like this and you just, out of your mind, and it could be intentional. So I'm like, okay, listen, I'm working on it. I'm trying. It's just not working right now. But yeah, it still goes back to it, but I'm trying to work on that. So I'm glad we're talking about this right now. I'm gonna try to work on that.
It's gonna be I would put it this way, it's gonna always be work for us, and it's always gonna be a continuing thing, especially when we older, because I worked in hospitals, nursing homes. I dealt with a lot of elderly people, especially ones that was married for a long time, and it's the same way. The woman still over explain herself. She 80 years old. The husband like, oh, he do it like just like, oh my God. Like, so it's gonna be a continuous cycle. I really think the gist of it is we just have to make sure that it's respectable when we having conversations with each other, because if you calling them your husband a BAN, I don't know if y'all know what that means, a BAN.
Oh. Okay, yes.
You calling your husband that, and he'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? And you call him all out his name, and you belittling him and telling him he, no good, this, that, and the third. Your marriage won't last. And if you do stay in that relationship, that man gonna be miserable for the rest of his life. And on top of it, that's when you gonna have all those side chicks and other women, because they trying to look for an outlet because they dealing with a dragon at home, so they looking for an outlet out there so they can be able to relax, or they go to a bar or sit in a driveway drinking on a beer or some heavy liquor for an hour or two before they come in the house. So
that's true. Sitting in the car for 2 hours, not trying to go back in the house.
Yep.
There's many men doing that. So
in the restroom, they're in the restroom for 4 days. They're in the restroom.
Wow. I've heard that several times since I've been.
Wait a minute,
in the YouTube.
Why?
They be at a truck stop just to get away from you.
Oh wow. Are there any women that do that? Need the distance away from their spouse or their families?
Yeah, it's some that do that, but it's more of the men. Yeah, it's more of the men that do that, because the women, they don't want to be home. But guess what? I'll put it this way: the women, if they have a big outlet of single friends, they always have somebody to run to and talk to and belittle their husband and this and that and third, and they allow their girlfriends to belittle the husbands too. So it's different. It's a different aspect on that one. So Women always have an outlet. They have TikTok and everything else to put out their dirty laundry and stuff. So the men, we have to look at the men don't have that because they suffer in silence. You know, we don't know, they suffer in silence and everything. And a lot of women like, what about us? What about us? Well, what about them? Because we always have an outlet and we can say whatever we want to say with no consequences. But as soon as a man says something, he's ostracized.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
Yep, facts.
Yeah, they got, like you said, the girls' trips. They got going out with their single friends. There's some women I met, they would like lock themselves in the bathroom. Yeah, it's so much.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things that go into it, and a lot of people, especially these women, talking about they want to be married, this and that third. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. So when they get with this man and they marry him and they get in, you know, in close proximity with him, they be like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's not like a cookie cutter thing. Just like, you know, when they going to get their bodies done, y'all all look the same. Marriages are not the same as dating. It really isn't. And now they have it to where these women out here dating, they out here, they want wife treatment. They want beyond wife treatment. We wives, okay, we are wives. Sis used to be a wife. When did we get all these $500 dinner dates, y'all? Come on, we go for simple places.
Exactly.
We have a good time. You know, if it's a picnic, we go something small.
Oh gosh.
But we're not going out to no Ruth Chris and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good point.
We can walk by Ruth Chris. We're not going there. Trey, yeah, boomers and Gen Xers raise weak, fragile women. Give me a silent or boomer woman. They were tough. Okay.
It's a lot of Gen Xers out there. I'm a Gen Xer, y'all. It's a lot of Gen Xers that turned out right if they had respect for their fathers, if their dad was in the home. I was raised in a 2-parent household. So I had my father all my life up till when he passed in 2022. So, and I was always close to my daddy, a daddy's girl, all of that. So it's a big difference because not all Gen Xer women are like that. But if you run across a Gen Xer not liking or, you know, just failing their children or have a man-hating mentality, 9 times out of 10, they grew up with a single mother that was bitter with her daddy about her daddy. You know, it can be any kind of facets of how that child happened because remember, it's a lot of side chick babies out there. There's a lot of turkey baster babies out there. You know what I'm saying? Some trick a man babies out there. So it's a lot of those. So, you know, these girls, especially the girls, they mad because their father wasn't there, but their mother haven't told them the truth on how she got there in the first place.
Exactly.
That your daughter could have been
that recently how I came to be a few years ago.
Tell you.
I had to get my mom a little intoxicated with some what's it? Some white Zen.
Wow.
No, it wasn't white Zen. What is it? The rose or whatever? I'm not sure. Yeah. So and she starts telling all. Apparently, I'm the result of some casual intimacy. And I found out that my grandmother and grandfather, maternal mother and grandfather, grandmother, grandfather were married, but not to each other.
What?
So yes, that's how my mom came to be, and it was a big secret. My mom didn't find out and she knew her father, but she didn't know him as her father.
Wow,
because they lived up the street from each other, and she didn't find out until shortly before he passed. Wow. And back then, the kids, you know, it was pretty safe. So the kids would go into the neighbors' homes with her. And she said she would go into his home and she would always see pictures of herself all over the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she finally asked my grandmother why, you know, where there were photos of herself all over the house. My grandmother told her, she said, look, I'm not supposed to tell you. I'm not supposed to tell you, but that's your real father. And we didn't want to, and she said the two of them didn't want to disturb anything because they were both married at the time. Yeah. And then, so I understand from us, you know, I understand why my mother made the choices that she has made. Love my mom, but I understand that she, you know, she went through a hard time.
Well, who did she think was her dad when she was growing up? That was her husband thinking that was her child, that was his child?
Yes. He thought it was his baby. And my mom said that he was great. He was a great father, very involved. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, if a woman don't tell the truth about anything, these kids don't know. It's a lot of I'm gonna speculate, but I bet y'all it's at least about 60% of people walking around not knowing who their real father is.
No, that's facts. I know a lot of them that don't know who their dad is. Maybe from where I grew up, but it's so sad. Because I'm like, we deal with, for the women who have their fathers and they're not good, and then you got the people who don't know their father, but they don't have memories of not being good. They just have nobody. So it's like it's always an issue for some reason. I want like the relationship you have, Miss O, that you just mentioned with your dad. How many women have that?
It's rare.
When I was growing up, I used to, the girls in the neighborhood, kids in the neighborhood, they envied me because I had a father at home, and I think we was, other than it was older people, the boomers, they, of course they married, they had their families, this, that, and third. But when it was younger people, younger couples of my parents' age, in the neighborhood, it was a lot of single mother homes. And my dad and my mom, they got married real young. They knew each other since they was like 6, 8 years old. So it was like a different, it was a different dynamic. I used to get teased in school because I had a father at home, and it was.
Wow, you were teased?
Oh yeah, I was teased. I grew up in the 80s. I was teased for having a daddy at home because in the 80s they made it to where men couldn't even be in the homes with their, with the women.
I see.
When they used to pass by and see my daddy on the porch and stuff like that, they used to just get mad. I was like, really, I was envied in school, all my life because I had my both my parents. And I had my grandfather, great grandfather, great great grandmother, grandma. I had the whole family on both sides. So it was, I had a different dynamic. So
that's amazing.
That's dope. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, and we weren't able to get kind of like your life, but we want to give it to our kids. I'm big on that. I'm like, come on, we got to start from somewhere because
break the cycle.
Let it keep going because it doesn't make any sense. But that's a blessing.
Yeah. It is. And I tried to make a, keep it going far as when it came to our children. So, my children came from a first marriage, but they end up that didn't go like it needed to go. So I'm in a new marriage, which I love this marriage way better, y'all. And although my husband had to be a stepfather to teenagers.
Oh, king.
That was hard, y'all. I'm telling you, like getting them together, like, oh, and then you might have, an outside entity trying to get into your kid's head. So it was some hard work, but it being the stepfather for what I seen is hard. I never seen that with my own eyes growing up, but I actually had to see it with my husband to see how everything went. And it could be something, but all praises that, they have a good relationship because my kids range from, I think my oldest is 31 and my youngest be 26. And I have 4 and we have a son. It's my husband's son, but he also my son. So, I think he's 29. So, we have all of those right there and, the grandkids flooding in and stuff. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this, y'all.
Awesome. We have a message from Mr. Payne. Lady, say it loud. When children don't know their fathers, that falls 100% on women. Yes. Women have to break that cycle from a disclosure standpoint.
Absolutely.
And you were speaking about since you were speaking about the envy and the jealousy in school and whatnot. I remember being so incredibly jealous of the children whose mothers were involved, who would bring the cupcakes and who were the chaperones or whatnot, because their mothers were there. My mother wasn't really involved. She worked a lot. But now we're having this conversation. I didn't have those feelings towards my father because I didn't know him. I wanted to have that connection. To get jealous. I know that sounds strange, but oh my gosh, the little girls with the moms who were in the PTA and whatnot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's amazing. I tell you, you wouldn't even couldn't even believe the jealousy you getting from the the other kids in the school. Then you wondering why they bullying you. When the kid bully you is something that is something that you have they don't have. Exactly. And a lot of times kids that bully other children, if you look back at those bullies, they're being abused at home. A lot of people don't know that, but they're getting abused at home. That's why they
neglected.
Or feeling neglected. Yep.
We have Trey. What incentive do women have to break that cycle? Modern women are selfish, and there is no consequences for not knowing who the father is. Baby boomer wishful thinking. Well, we appreciate your opinion, Trey. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure he speaks for a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
So to Trey's question, we could blame our past because this is why we're here, right? In the past, and I'm talking about our parents. So Miss O had a life that's not modern, right? But I did. So I looked at that life I had in the past growing up. I had my parents were married or whatever. So I had that nice dynamic for a while. I loved it.
For 10
years. And then that was stopped. So then I had to deal with the single mom thing. And then I got a stepmom and, all this just different life that I didn't really understand, but I'm here. Just growing up like that, you just learn that this is not the right way. And you learn by observation. So I could say the incentive is just women just growing up, maturing, and just looking around you. Everything around you could teach you. And if you don't know something, you could just ask. I used to talk and ask random people. If I seen if I met Miss O years ago, I would ask her because I could see that she's married, whatever. Oh, how is your relationship? Or what can you tell me? I want to get married one day. What's the advice you could give me?
Oh, it takes so much courage.
You just ask questions.
Yep, you know what? But it's sad that a lot of women can't even, especially young women, can't even go ask nobody because they look at their grandmothers in the club, they mama in the club. They all going to Puerto Rico or everywhere else. They out there getting their bodies done together. I'm talking about the daughters,
that's true,
mother, the grandma. They all doing it.
Yeah.
So what kind of incentive can they get from those women? Because those women can't teach them anything. So the only thing they can do is probably go on websites to find stuff and and look at it now. A lot of these women going towards Sheer 7 for advice. I'm like, wait a minute. I heard some girls, it was in the chat. I forgot whose page I was on. I think it was the Nika's channel. And they was talking about, well, she's not we listen to her. I'm like, so I put in a comment, they were saying, well, we don't want to listen to you because you're old. That's what they was telling me. I was like, Sheer 7 is older than me for one. Long way for two. So that you lose that argument. She telling y'all to be prostitutes. I'm saying prostitutes because we can't say it. She teaching y'all transactional dating, and and she also telling them, what's the other thing she telling them? Don't let your boyfriend block your blessings for a husband. What kind of crap is that?
Wait,
so they got a boyfriend, but don't stop there, ladies. You make sure you be a side chick to somebody so you can be somebody's wife like I did. That's basically what she's telling people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that I think I was explaining this on somebody's show. Women have a lot of men. I don't know if men know this, but they have a man that they don't want, but they're going to sleep with him. They have a man that they don't want, but they will make him their boyfriend because they want stuff from him. And then they're admiring a man, which is a married one, because they want that married life, but they don't really like him like that, but they do. Like, it's so many different things. I'm like, yo, just pick one. You can't have all this stuff. You gotta be with the husband.
I can't have all that energy to be juggling. I'm like,
yeah, that seems like a lot.
I'm just saying, only women that's able to do that is 304s.
Golly, that's a full-time job and overtime.
Walkers, those are the only ones because they can juggle 100 guys at a time. And these females that's supposed to be regular just out there juggling what they juggling. But guess what? End of the day, you're going to end up with something that you don't want. Either a baby, and you're going to treat that baby like crap, or you're going to get an STD you can't get rid of.
Yeah, but that's what they wanted. That's what the system wanted. That's why it was so important to get that strong man out the house. So now, once the kids don't know where they come from or the other part of the disciplinarian parent in there, they can do whatever they want. So now it's going to promote more women being 304s. So now just the cycle repeats. So now the value of a woman has lowered because of all these women just giving themselves away for free, basically, when y'all worth way much more and stuff. So, and it goes back to Trey's question, like it's not going to be no incentive for a woman. What we're going to have to do, we're going to have to say like Anicia did. She like, hey, I'm gonna find out on my own. You know what I'm saying? So the kids of those parents gonna have to find out, and hopefully at a younger age, so we can kind of repatch and put the pieces to the puzzle back together, so we can our kids in the future can benefit from our sacrifices that we made. You know, so it's sad, but yeah,
absolutely,
crazy.
Absolutely. Seems like with every generation, to some extent, we're starting over.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're running backwards in the race.
There we go. We're going backwards. It's like we think we're getting somewhere. It's like, nope. They bring all these different policies, different movements. I'm like, nope. Damn, we gotta go back. Shoot, I'm trying to have another kid. This next kid, I'm hoping they could, reap the benefits of what we trying to push, but we still gonna go back. They're gonna push another policy, and I'm like, come on.
We walking around that same tree, y'all. We going around in circles. Around in circles. That's all we doing.
Can't give up hope. Can't give up hope.
Y'all want to go with afterwards, sis? You want to do a video, or we gonna start with questions?
We'll do. Let's see here. We left off with the last question was, do all men deserve respect? Why or why not? So we left off with that one, and that was an awesome one because I know I learned that there are so many different levels, and the definitions can vary from person to person. The difference between respect and reverence, and it went deep. It was really enlightening, really enlightening. So we can go to a video now, and then we'll touch base on this question. Please, thank you.
Now let me tell y'all my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. Black women are too much to deal with. We're a lot. When I say too much to deal with, it is primarily our attitudes. Unfortunately, Black women in today's society have some of the most aggressive, nastiest, unapproachable attitudes, and it can run someone away. Black women, unfortunately, are, struggling with being super independent, right? Which has always been like I could do it all by myself type of mindset, but it's a different type of masculine, aggressive energy that is being reciprocated to men. And as we know, men don't want to date women who want to be just as masculine as them. Now, hear me. I'm very aware that so many of us as Black women are dealing with so much trauma, right? I have a lot of clients who are working through their own trauma as Black women and just trying to do better and be more self-aware and work through their struggles. But at the same time, right, just because you have your trauma that you are, you're dealing with, or, you're working through, it does not give you the right to just be so mean, so nasty, and beyond super entitled. So in case you don't want to believe it, but men do like feminine, soft women. A man wants a woman who is nice and kind and not aggressive. And they don't want to deal with our bad attitude. We cannot continue to just think that somebody has to be willing to just deal with our trauma and deal with our past and be okay with however you treat them just because you got a past. We all got a past. It's about what we do with our past and how we work through it. So that's just my personal opinion. And it's sad. It is very sad for me to even acknowledge that that's what I think it is. And I'm witnessing it. I'm seeing it. It's around me all the time. I'm around Black women all the time. And I see how we come off and how unkind we can be to our own people. And if you are in the business of demasculating a man, making him feel low, making him feel like you don't need him, and you could, like, you're not going to get anywhere far. And that
He said a mouthful.
Yes.
I like that video.
Yes. Well, touch on the video first.
Okay.
I believe a lot of that stems from a lack of self-love, because you can't love, be empathetic, respect anyone if you are hurting inside. And it takes me back to what's going on in the environment as a child, because a lot of that is manifested, from your childhood.
Yeah, that's true. So she said a lot, which a lot of truth. But what I didn't like that she said was that I know Black women have to deal with a lot of trauma. Okay, first of all, in my head, this is what I first thought of. You have traumatic experiences where women are their innocence is taken away from them, right? And then you have I didn't have a dad. That's like two different damn things to me. That's life where you don't have a dad because people will break up, they not stand, whatever. And then you have the innocence taken away from you. That is not the same thing. So I can't say a lot of women haven't had that happen, the innocence part taken from them, but I wouldn't use that as we have so much trauma and this is the reason why. Like, no, because men also have trauma too, if that's the case. So it's kind of like we're not the only ones that went through something. They did too, but they still can be respectful. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about all men. There are men who, they come from a toxic environment and then they're beating on you and, doing those things. But I don't think that's the majority of men. So it's kind of like, okay, so you went through things. You went through trauma and you went through things, bad memories. And now you just using that as an excuse and you don't want to get better. So I don't like that approach. How about we just say, we have to work on ourselves, right? And work through the things that hurt us and then learn how to love and treat people with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of us have something we went through, but trauma is different. Like I said, innocence taken away versus I don't have a daddy. Like, come on. So.
And I agree with sister down there. I'm sorry, James, you wanted to say something on that one?
Oh no, you go ahead. I can wait.
Okay. And sister's right about that, because it is a difference because although I had a father in my family, I also went through some trauma as well, childhood trauma. So it's and the way I was able to deal with it, I was fortunate enough to know how to deal with it without having counseling, because it was a very traumatic episode for me. But I had that support system through family, my dad, my mom, whatever, whatnot. So, and I can attest to it that it is a big difference. But when women say, like she said, as far as women had our traumas, we still not holding ourselves accountable by saying that. So, oh, I'm gonna treat you like this because I went through this when I was 7 years old, or I'm gonna talk to you like this because it's just always a vicious cycle of how can I say it? It's just that ongoing cycle of just patting yourself on the back for being an evil person. And women are, I'm sorry, women, I'm a woman too, but we can be some of the most evil people on earth. There's no hell, there's no hell like us, boy. Y'all already know, men went through it with ex-girlfriends. You leave them, she tearing up your car, she tearing up everything else. And you look like, where this come from? I never knew that she had it in her, but she had it in her the whole time. It just takes something to just tick them off. And next thing you know, all the crazy come out of a woman. So that trauma is something else. We really have to work on it ourselves. And women are looking for a man to fix that. Nobody can fix you but you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They could, the man, men do have an influence, though. They can influence change and the other side of things. But like Miss O said, for sure, you are the one that has to take those many steps. It's not just one, and then you wake up and oh no, it's a journey. And I think women just have to be more patient with themselves. And they're not seeing a result and they get frustrated, they get emotional, then they start crying. It's okay. That's part of the journey. You're gonna cry, you're gonna go through stuff. Okay, then there's gonna be a time where you ain't crying and you happy as hell. So it's kind of like get to that end stage and you be fine. But it's like they stop and they want to go back to the toxic lifestyle and blame the trauma and all this stuff. Like, come on, all of us had to be real, all of us had things happen to us. All of us had issues, family issues. And it is what it is. So we just have to work through them the best that we can as early as we can. And then keep it moving.
Right.
Absolutely. So, James and Lady Di, what do you all have to say regarding the question? Do all men deserve respect? Why or why not?
You want to answer it first? You want me to... I can go. I got it.
Well, yeah.
All right. So, on questions like this, I think it should be up to the men to answer this. To be honest with you, because a lot of times, a lot of the ladies a man will say, "Hey, yeah, he's a good man," and a woman will still disrespect him and say he doesn't earn respect. He hasn't did what he's supposed to do. But other men will look at that man and say, "Dang, he's a good guy. He's doing this, he's doing that." But you can have another woman come there and say, "Hey, he's not nothing. He's trash. He's a bad person." I'm saying, but like my first wife, right? I bet if you talk to her, she'd say I was the worst man she ever been with. But now I get with my wife now.
I'm like, where?
Right.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? So, but it's the mindset. So I think that's why it was so important for the men to have to go find that husband for his daughter, or for him to pass his daughter to that man, because they vetted that man to make sure he was going to take care of their daughter and stuff like that. But now we kind of got away from that. Now they put women in charge of this, and women don't understand what the different things that men come with, right? We were just having a conversation about, we just simple straight to the point. We can't even get past that. But y'all thinking y'all gonna be able to understand, the different types.
Oh, yes.
And then when I talk to the younger sisters, I'd be like, "Hey, this guy just want, sex from you." But he wants to be with me. I'm like, "No, sis, he doesn't. He wants this from you." And then when they find out I was right, now men ain't nothing, men are trash. No, I was telling you, I was trying to help you out, but you didn't want to listen. So a lot of these conversations, sometimes a lot of the ladies need to depend on their men, especially the men they trust, that they can get solid advice from. And then now that can help better them off. Because, of course, not all men is going to deserve respect, right? But if you let other men qualify them, or vet them, you'll be in a better situation.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. I'm not sure why it is that women think they can know and completely understand the way a man is thinking, and the same for a man. We are different. We're both equal in that we're humans, but we're so different, and that's what makes us beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
I have something to say on that one. That's why if you ever looked at it, that's why it was different. It's supposed to be a child supposed to have a mother and a father. The mother, only thing that we're actually qualified to teach our sons is how a woman's supposed to treat them, how a woman is supposed to be. If the young men don't have that example on how a woman is supposed, serve them, respect them, talk to them, reverence them. If they don't have all that, if a young man don't get all that from his mother, once again, he's going to be lost. That's the reason why, it's supposed to be a husband and wife. The wife is there to safeguard their son and be like, look, this type of woman don't get with this type of woman. This is something that you need to look forward to. The father is there to make sure that, he get into that emotional state, calm that down. You will be a man one day. I need you to be masculine, I don't want you to have your mom's traits, because we know this. A lot of guys do have that. They get the emotional stuff from us. They don't get it from the father unless the father, come from some kind of emotional breed. But other than that, that's why you're supposed to have that balance. And when it comes to the fathers are there to teach their daughters, like, look, you make sure before you start talking to this kind of guy, I meet him first. The fathers meet them, and the fathers tell you. Now, I had learned this myself, and I messed up, y'all. My daddy told me that introduce somebody to him. My daddy told me that's not the one. Guess what I did? I went against my dad's code, and I had a spiritual butt whooping from the Most High. I'm just gonna be honest on it.
Yeah.
So that's why the father's supposed to be there. Like, look, this not the guy for you. And a man, a lot of times us as women, we don't know this. A man can sniff out bullish off of another dude real quick.
Yeah.
We the ones that got the blinders on. We just see, he's nice and he's trying. It's a lot of charming
emotions.
Yeah. So we get the butterflies and all that other stuff. And then come to find out he not nothing. And then once you had that warning and everything, you went against everybody's warning. Right. Then you want to say that he wasn't this, that, and the third, but baby, you knew it ahead of time because everybody told you what he was. You seen the red flags, this and that third. You can't blame him. You blame yourself, because if you've seen those, you should have just exit left, and you didn't do that. And that's why a lot of women saying men not ish, but every guy you went across, not nothing. That means it's a problem with you, because really it actually supposed to take one time for you to go through a bad relationship to know not to get into another one. That's one thing I don't understand. I had one, I ain't been through another one since. So I'm not comprehending on women when it comes to every guy they had wasn't ish. And then you got these women that have 5 to 6 to 10 kids by 5 to 6 to 10 different baby daddies, and it's like back to back to back to back. And I'm looking like, how in the it's mind-boggling to me.
I used to say that. I was saying this the other day, like, okay, one time, you go get across that no good dude, but you did it the second time, the third time, the fourth time. Hello, like, you just want to be there at this point. Because I know the same thing with me. I had that one bad one, and I said never again. I took dating more. I was serious, but I was more serious. And then I came across James. So I had to learn, like, okay, this is not the type of man I need. The traits that I was seeing, I was okay, I don't need that type of guy. So I was really like looking at every part of a man, like, how they spoke, how they carried themselves, their life before, when they were younger, the life now. Like, I'm just, how is their relationship with their family? I'm looking at everything, because I'm like, I'm only gonna do this one time. I'm gonna try my heart.
Did you have someone, a man that you trust vet James?
No, I didn't have nobody. So I had to do it by myself, and it had to happen with my one bad relationship. Yeah. And that part was hard, because I hate wasting time. So wasting time with that one bad relationship, I'm like, God damn. But then I would have never came across my husband now. So it's kind of like bittersweet. But at the same time, it's like I didn't have nobody to help me with that. I think later, when I already knew him, I had one person that would call and like, hey, how's everything going? Oh, man, my godfather would call, how's everything going? And will like teach me and stuff like that. But that was later. So I needed it way before that. But to answer the question, I'm just looking at this very vague, like, when I see, do all men deserve respect? It's more like, I don't know you. So when I see a man, it's going to be respect from the jump. But if you come off to me reckless at the mouth, then I'm going to go walk away and don't come next to me again. So I think all men would deserve respect, because I'm not a man. I'm not trying to get with no problems, I'm not about to fight you. None of that. So yeah, I'm gonna be very respectful and nice, and then we're gonna go from there. So, but that's just how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it very basic, like, just in general. I meet someone, I'm gonna respect you off the jump, regardless of what you look like, how you're dressed. It doesn't matter to me. You coming to me, I'm gonna speak back.
I agree with you on that one 100%. I said it last week. It's another thing too. You don't know you have to show people respect because it's a lot of people out there that have undiagnosed mental issues.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work with MORC. I don't know if people know what MORC people is. Those the ones that have the disabilities and stuff like that. If you have, it's like is whatever conditions they have, they can feed off your negative energy. And once they feed that negative energy off of you, they want to fight, and you wonder why they bucking up to you. It's the same like I was telling my husband about people that have dementia. They know when you on some BS. They will fight you up in those hospitals and nursing homes if you come up in there with an attitude or you show the slightest disrespect to them. So that goes a long way. So you really have to watch your body language, be respectful at all times because you don't know what this person going through. They could be like this close to, deleting themselves and they'll take it off on you because you're not showing them any respect. You really have to watch that, and a lot of people don't do it. So that's just food for thought on that one.
Yes,
And
even when it's
like and then it's kind of like there are a lot of people that are ticking time bombs. You could be a light to this person. They're like, damn, I haven't seen a nice, especially a nice, pleasant lady today or in a while. It makes their day, like, because you don't know what they're going through. I ain't trying to get in no crossfire. So it's kind of like you're helping somebody at the same time with being kind and being nice and, being extra generous, with respect. And there's nothing wrong with that because some people need that for real. Like, you walk outside, you just go to the grocery store and someone just, feeding off of your positivity can help them throughout the week. It's kind of like giving back. I don't know. I just look at it like that.
Yes, and thank you, Trey. Can we pull up Trey's definition of respect? We defined this in the last video.
Yep.
So Trey, respect, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their ability, qualities, or achievements. And another is due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. And we had some conversations about that. We found that it's different for each of us. Absolutely. I Lady Di, like you, I'm going to show extreme respect. One, because that's who I am. That's my soul. I would like to be treated that way. And then also I'm not confrontational, and you never know what someone is going through. They may have just had a bad day. And even if they perceive that you're being disrespectful or you're not intentional, it can cause issues. So kindness is king,
Especially when all the women walking around with that resting bee face. I don't understand that. They be looking like hard. They be looking hard.
Sis, that smile might save someone's life. That smile might save someone's life.
Right. They be looking hard at the jaw like they clenching their teeth all day long. Like, calm down, relax. Okay, relax. Gee.
And also too, think about it. He gave us a definition, right? But think about how we would treat each other if we actually did follow that definition of respect. We had deep admiration of each other when we seen each other, even if we didn't know them, but we seen like, oh, that's my sister, oh, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? We come from the same seed line, like we've come from the same people. You know what I mean? And we also had that mindset, and we went into the world, and we actually tried to achieve the most we can, right? Because we look at each other now like we trash. And you see how we treat each other. Yes. But if we looked at each other like on a positive note, we would treat each other better too as well.
Yes. So. I believe that we all have something to offer. Often through things that we go through in our life, we aren't aware of what that is or what that looks like, or it's buried, or whatever the case may be. But we all have the potential to offer something positive. And why not try to pull that from someone by showing that they are worthy? Why not? What what does that take away from you? How does that hurt you?
Yeah.
If anything, you're adding something, you're helping to add something to our world, no matter how small you may think it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But
look at the effects of us, what we've been doing. We've been talking trash to each other all these years. And look how I know you're probably a lot of these single mom households, they parents, the mom talk to them like they was nothing. Oh, that's why your daddy left, or you ain't gonna be you know what I'm saying, all these different things, and then that kid grow up and doing the exact same thing what the mom said. Or some kids will probably put in their mind, I'm gonna show her that they wrong, but most don't. They kind of fall in line, and then they go seeking love from the wrong places. So if a woman, she's gonna go into the bed with another man, and then that man is gonna go into the streets, and you know what I mean, they're gonna, because most of us live in the city, you know what I mean, mostly populated cities and stuff like that, right? And then we go into the hoods and all that type of stuff, right? Because they we live there, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna show us love, and then now we just can repeat the same cycle. So
You see,
and Trey says y'all just handing out respect like lollipops. Why not? How does that hurt? How does that hurt anyone?
Nice. Being nice is a part of being respectful. Because especially we have to say that, especially when it comes to women, because women like, I don't have to smile. So when you frowning, when us as women, we frowning at somebody, especially a man, that's disrespecting him. And a lot of people don't know that. When we're frowning at folks, we're disrespectful. I put it this way. A woman be at work, let her frown at her boss or her managers and this, that, third. What's the first thing that's gonna come out their mouth? You're disrespecting me.
Yep. Yeah, facts.
If they can do that, they can do whatever at those jobs. They shouldn't have a problem respecting their husband, even if their husband have a certain shortcomings. That's your husband. You chose him when he asked you for your hand in marriage. You roll with it, work together, whatever, whatnot. You are not to disrespect your husband. You chose him. And if you disrespect your husband, you're really disrespecting yourself, and that's showing what kind of character you have. That's in my opinion.
That's true. I think he's saying respect. What did he say? Respect and being nice and kind. You can be nice and kind without respecting someone, right? So to respect someone is to be nice and kind, though. So it's the same thing. but okay, so being raised halfway in New York, right? I've seen a lot of people with mental illness. I'm not gonna lie. You can't walk outside being crazy in the head or thinking somebody always deserves something. That's not how it works. People crazy sometimes. They will actually hurt you. I think Miss O was kind of stepping on that earlier. You know, like you really got to go out there and be the most kind person ever walking, because people will hurt you. Like it's not just they're gonna hurt you as a lady. They'll hurt you as a man. It don't matter. So just go out there, like, you know, you living your best life. If you don't want to be bothered, stay ass in the car or put some sunglasses on. You ain't got to talk, but you still got to walk outside and be nice regardless.
You still got to keep your head on when you go out there. I'm not saying be gullible, because we still got to keep our head on the swivel, because we got some crazies out there that's going to do what they want to do anyway. But when it comes to, just have a different aura about you, because I'm telling y'all right now, especially with me, I go out there. I was telling my husband, me and my son, one of our sons went to the like a Polish meat market, right? Now, the first thing that the owner and everybody up in there, and mind you, this is another race of people. The first thing they told me is, where are you from? You're different. Everybody can feel on your aura. I mean, they can feel how, they can feel your energy. That's what I'm speaking about. You got to have a certain energy, and that if you have a certain energy, that'll deter you from a lot of things. Because have you ever noticed that they've been having on the news that, like, say for instance, people just be at the bus stop minding their business. They getting punched in the face by somebody. They don't know why. They getting punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
And bad energy collides with other bad energy. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's why we should respect one another. Because I looked up the the synonyms of that word. Politeness was a synonym, and value. You know what I mean? So we value one another. That can stop a lot of the issues that we have in our community. We don't value each other. We always complaining about it's the woman's fault or it's the man's fault, right? But I think it's times to do that, right? When you're trying to pinpoint on something that a woman or a man is doing, right? But we don't value one another. So if I value you as a woman, I can tell you, hey, yeah, you're wrong right here. I want you to be better. But if I don't value as a woman, it's gonna be, you're not gonna take my criticism because you don't feel like it's coming from a good place. So we also got to look at it how we coming off and stuff like that too as well.
Yeah, I have that deep admiration. Unless you do something to negate that, I have that deep admiration. I mean, why not? Why not? And even if you do negate it, I'm not going to disrespect you. Because
look up the synonyms of it, Trey. Look up respect synonyms, and you'll see it.
So, but that's a good point. You mentioned value, because I
have a deep admiration for Trey.
Value. So, I guess that would be the same. Like, I value a person. I don't know you to just be disrespectful. I don't know nothing about you. You could be a damn cold-faced killer. Like, I wouldn't know looking at you. But if I know, then I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna, step back, and I'm not gonna I don't even know how to say this. I don't disrespect people unless I'm about to fight you. That's how I look at that. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna respect you regardless if you're a person. I value you as a person. I don't know you, but I still value you as a person. So that's why I honor the respect. And then that's it. And I think he mentioned something about training a dog. You could train a dog to respect you. Okay, we train our kids to respect us, but I know for the damn right, when they are babies, when they are 1, a 2-year-old, it don't matter. You can respect me because I'm your mother. That's it. Now, as they get old, they're gonna mature and learn why they're respecting me. But you're gonna respect me because I'm your mother. Period. There's no if and buts. You look at me, respect. Like that's it.
You care about your feelings at that time. Is what mama say.
At all.
What daddy say is what mama say. You like what he told you to do.
Yeah, because honestly, kids don't know us. Like, you have a child, they learning to know you. They don't know you, but they have to respect you though. It's kind of like it's just a given. So when I don't know, he mentioned dogs, I thought about kids for some reason. Like, you got to train, because dogs are like
fear.
They're innocent, they don't know nothing.
And I'm with you on that one too, sis. I see what Trey said. Look, a lot of kids, if you notice, a lot of children now is different from our kids. I don't know, sis and brother James. Y'all probably raising your children like this too. It is very rare to get your children to say yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Now with me,
that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. That's the form of respect. A lot of times these women now, the ones that's raising their kids wrong, I'm gonna be honest. When you call your kids and they say what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's disrespectful. What to who? I had that with one of my oldest grandson. He 8. He was over here because he's so used to saying it around to his mother. And I called him. He said, "What? Y'all should have saw my neck." I turned around. I said, "Excuse me." He was like, "Ma'am," because he already knew, because that's how I was helping raising him. So it's a different dynamic, and you can tell on how these mothers are with their kids. Your kid not supposed to say what when you call them.
Yeah, we don't play that.
I'm still uncomfortable calling an elder by their first name. I'm still uncomfortable.
Right. I don't do that either.
And I'm 40 years old.
I'm in a few days. I don't even do it.
So being raised up north, there is no such thing as ma'am. There is a sir, but there's no ma'am. The ma'am would just be the person's name, or Miss, Mrs., or something like that. Which is, I guess, I don't know if that's the same, but like when I grew up, I never had to call my mother ma'am. It was just yes, mommy. I could not say what. She'll snap her neck too, like, excuse me.
I grew up grew up around country women, and like I said, I was born and raised in Detroit. Everybody in Detroit was like, "Yes, ma'am," "No, ma'am," and that's Michigan. It all depends on what the mother teach their child.
A lot of them come from Alabama. A lot of them went from Alabama up to Detroit.
Yeah, and that's what my family did. So it's ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Oh, and TS.
This. So
I see why community is jacked up. We all singing a different song.
Because we're not saying the same thing with the respect. I see what he's saying. It's just
it's an open concept. Respect comes in so many different. Everybody think it's just one way street with it. No, it goes. It's in all realms of life. It's in all realms of life, actually.
And we got to think about it, guys. We living in Babylon, right? So Babylon means confusion. So a lot of the things that we are growing up in, we probably got a Christian next door to you. You got the Israelite next door to that person. You got a person that's worship Buddha. You got all these different cultures right here next to each other. So it's going to be hard for us to kind of, have one, terminology and stuff. Like I got stuff I can say to y'all right now. Y'all probably like, what the hell are you talking about? But I grew up in Alabama. That's the terminology we used to use. Like if I said he cagged him, a lot of y'all probably wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but people where I'm from, they like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how we we are. North, South, different religions, different cultures, all this type of stuff.
That's true. Because if I say ma'am to somebody in my family, they're gonna be like, "Don't call me ma'am. I'm not old." That's what they would say.
Yeah, I've been called ma'am for a long time. I was in my 20s when I had my children, and they was calling me, the neighborhood kids was calling me ma'am, and I was 24, 25.
Yeah.
So, I'm just used to it. A lot of people not used to it, but it's a lot of women out there that, that's grandmas. They don't even let their grandchildren call them grandma, granny.
True.
They got all kinds of names. They even let their grandkids call them by their first name. I was like, y'all just, I don't get this.
I don't understand that either. That's a badge of honor.
My grandbaby called me granny. I took the word granny.
Yeah, that's weird. But to each his own.
Yeah.
To each his own. So we will move on to the next question. And let's see, question number 11. Okay, all right, we have a doozy. We would love your opinions. Do you believe that the men, hey David, do you believe that the men who you claim don't deserve respect can become a man that is deserving? If so, how does that transformation take place? And what is your role in it, if any?
I can tackle this one first. So it's the same things of you growing up, right? So right now I got my oldest son is 13. So I'm teaching him qualities. I'm teaching him things of how to be a man and how he's supposed to conduct himself in the world, right? So say if a man didn't get those qualities, maybe he was probably a street dude, or maybe he just didn't listen to his parents, but he'll rather listen to a person like me because he feels like he can relate to me more. I would teach him the same things that I was teaching my sons, because you got to give them a foundation first, right? So the first foundation, you got to start with the Most High, right? So after he understands who he is, where he comes from, his people, his culture, now he has a better understanding of what he fits in this world. So now he's able to, then after that, all they got to do is just tell him like, hey, you can start off with a trade, you can start off with a job or something like that, build yourself up, be able to take care of yourself as a man. Once you're able to take care of himself as a man, now he can start entertaining women, because if you can't take care of yourself as a man, you have no business trying to get a woman with women. And that's why a lot of these young men are doing, they would be with a lot of women, but they can't even hold an apartment. They almost don't understand the credit. You know what I mean? Like my son, he knows like what they look for in your credit card and how to get a good credit score at his young age. I'm setting him up. I'm putting his name on different accounts, right? So his credit history will have years on it. So when he gets his first car, he don't have a 16 or 17% interest rate on it. You know, so we as the I'm answering the last part of what's our role in it. So we have to make sure we send up things for these young men and the young women too as well, so they can be at a better situation when it comes in their life.
Okay, thank you. I want you all to think of the individuals in your life or in your past that you can really say that they lost your respect through whatever it was, whatever happened. I'm sure we all have several. How does that person transform?
They don't.
It's possible.
Oh, they don't. I'm sorry. When you said that was like, yeah, So for me, because this is how I look at it. I say this to my husband all the time. Once someone literally disrespects me, okay, it's intentional. Like, you meant that. Now, if you just woke up, I'm not the same like I was when I was whatever, and I see you just being, your mindset has changed. I could see that. I could look at someone and be like, okay, no, you are actually different. Most of those people, that at least that I came across, they the same person. They just know how to deal with you. So you're not going to get respect from me. I'm just going to deal with you back. That's it. I'm going to be nice when I see you. And then that's it. But I still don't like you like that. You are still a piece of crap or whatever. And we going to keep it moving. So it's very hard for me, for someone to deserve respect. Like, I'm talking about when someone does something really trifling to you. It's very hard for me to look at you the same. Like, you're not going to be looked at as the same anymore when you meant it.
Yeah.
So the damage is done for me.
I think it's she's kind of like cutthroat. I'm more of
I don't like drama. I don't want them to do it again. Like, I'm real big on that, because you pissed me off once, don't let it be a twice. Like, you messed up things in my life. I have to remember this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm good. There's not going to be a second time. So I kind of protect and guard that. But I still, I'm very nice. Like, I'll still have new friends. I'm not going to use what somebody did to me and put it on everybody. I don't do that. I will make a new friend I just made a new friend the other day. Shoot, we almost best friends. So I'm real nice and stuff like that. I'm not going to let, people's negativity destroy my future. But you done.
Yeah. So my opinion on it is that if the person repents and they kind of apologize for what they do, because sometimes, people going through, they're not mentally there, right? They probably in a situation where they feel like they have to do dirty stuff, right? Like, we all wasn't perfect, right? So sometimes it depends on the situation for me, but for the most part, we won't never have the same relationship like what once we had, right? But I will still be respectful to that person. I still be polite. I still value him as a person, but I'll just kind of keep more of a watchful eye on them, and then I'll just kind of like move like that, because I don't want to keep that bad energy on me. Even her explaining that, she feel like she was having she was thinking about.
I feel it.
I don't let those people around me. So for me, that's why you see how the energy came off. Yeah. Me and you are never going to see each other again unless we just cross paths randomly. Then that's fine. But I'm good. Yeah. Like, that's it.
I can't hold that type of energy.
That's
on
it.
Me.
I'm
so
good.
I kind of like try to be like more relaxed, and right. If I did like that, I probably would have hurt somebody like real bad.
But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm like this real quick. The reason why I'm like this is because I don't do nothing trifling to nobody. I can't tell you not one time I literally ruined somebody's life. Okay, I don't do stuff like that. So I expect you to be the same as a good person. Now, there are people who are bad and they become good. Like, I'm not saying people can't change. It's just hard for me to accept it. But I already dismissed you out of my life, so it wouldn't even matter if you changed or not. But
you know what, sis? You remind me, you have the mindset of my husband. My Lord is like this. He cuts you off completely. He done. He don't say nothing to you. If he see you in the street, you speak, he'll hide and go by his business. Me, on the other hand, it take a while. I can see where the disrespect is coming from. I have a little policy. I have like a 3-strike rule. I always had this 3-strike rule. Once you get to that third one and I cut you off, I always say a person is dead to me because their disrespect was off the chain. They did something that was very detriment to me and my family. When you do that, I'm you just dead to me. I don't even see you. I have family members I haven't seen in a while. Is people I just don't deal with because you're disrespectful, that negativity, you go behind somebody's back, you talking, you know how people do, they talk stuff about you. They don't even know what's going on because you're to yourself. And a lot of times people that's black sheeps, and I'm a black sheep. Um, when you a black sheep like that, everybody, make up stories on you because they don't have the inside scoop because you're not letting them in. So you really have to just push them aside and just wipe your hands on 'em. And I feel like a lot of people don't deserve respect because you will lose it. You lose if you lose respect from me, you're completely done. I don't deal with people like that. If I see you as a disrespectful person or something like that, I just go the other way. I don't have to show you respect at all. I just go the other way and mind my business. Now, if you came to me with the respect in the beginning, okay, I see this, that, and the third, but I slowly see that that shell, that skin, that snake skin coming off of you, whatever, and I see the true nature of you, I will leave you alone completely. And you don't have to worry about respect from me because I go the other way. If I see you coming one way, all I had to do is just turn around. I don't have to be bothered with you.
And I want to go back to Trey's comment. So let me get this right. You can do something to lose respect, but to gain respect, they don't have to do anything. They just get that off bucks. I'm confused. My standpoint, yes, you start at 100. You start at 100 and you can lose points.
Yep.
And me personally, I don't think Miss Lady Di would, but for me, you can regain points through.
Yeah, once we lost, I mean, I'm not giving you another game.
No,
so what?
Failed.
Lose or win?
Failed. And and thank you all for sharing. Thank you all. Now I'm seeing the dynamic and how it plays out with someone you've had a child with that you've lost respect for. I'll just say that. And that energy, I could feel the energy. Like I could feel that energy through the screen. Can you imagine how your children can feel that, and how this repeats the cycle? Because the last show we discussed scenarios in which our young boys start feeling disrespected. So wow.
Yeah, you said that.
Those mothers, it be from those, I'm sorry, sis, it be from those mothers with their toxic, their toxic energy. They just telling these, I heard from a lot of guys growing up that they mother, and I seen this, the mother will come out there, what you doing that for? You don't know how to do this. They just take their self-esteem and just crush it. The boy the young man want to play basketball. Oh, you don't have to, you're not playing basketball because you're not good enough. You'll never do this. You'll never do that. Guys go through that, and us as women don't know this. These mothers, they just belittle their sons, and then you wonder why, you get with this man and his esteem is so low. And you look like, what in the hell? Why is your esteem so low? And we as women, especially women that really care for a man like that, we try to figure out what's going on. Is it me? Something, is it something I'm doing? But we don't look deeper into his relationship with his mother. It don't be the father, like everybody say, oh, it's the father's fault. Stop putting the blame on these men and put the blame where it belongs. Put it on these mothers, because we are like I said, once again, we are the teachers. We supposed to show love to our sons, because just like the same when it comes to little girls, our father, that's our first love. Same when it comes to these sons, the mothers are their first love. They supposed to see the kindness, everything come from their mother first. If they don't see that, they just doomed. And look at it now. It's a whole bunch of simps around.
Yeah. And the saddest thing about that is like I go through that kind of situation with dealing with my ex-wife, right? And when my son goes down there to Alabama to see her for the summer and stuff, she always be talking negative. She almost be talking negative about me. She be talking negative about my wife. My wife don't even talk to her. You know what I'm saying? So my son is like, he's 13.
illegal.
Yeah, my son is 13, looking at this woman talking bad about a woman that never talks about her, and he's like, "What, mom? Why are you doing this?" Like, and he's like, at a young age, he's like, what? Like my parent, my dad and my stepmom never talk bad about you, but you always got something negative to say about something that's going on, right? Rather than you just enjoying me being here. So a lot of times, like if you as the man seeing this or in that situation, just remain positive in that situation. And then your kid is going to see, especially when he gets older, he's going to be like, dang, Dad, I see what you had to go through. I'm so sorry. Even if he did you dirty, the little kid, he be like, man, he going to probably come most likely apologize for how he treated you or because of what the mom told him. You know what I'm saying? So just be wary of that, ladies.
So for me, like, I do give grace when it's needed, and only give grace to people that I know I can't get rid of.
Oh boy.
So so he mentioned right. He mentioned his ex-wife and my stepson's mother. I give her respect because she is his mother. And I'm like, so he's been with us since 2. I helped raise him here. He has full custody. So
so after divorce, they took custody. So yeah.
Right. So I am raising. I'm saying it because this is exactly what it is. I'm raising someone else's child. Okay. The mother is alive. So I will respect her until her death, even though she don't like me. So I do have a space for that. But you know, for the ones I can't get rid of, I just have to deal with it and I don't think about it. So I do know how to be mature with it. But you know, as much energy as y'all felt off of the screen, I don't like to walk around like that, and I don't want my kids to see me like that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I just protect my energy around the people that I love. And to me, it's really not worth it. I can make another friend. I can make another whatever. It's not that deep.
You can make another friend.
I could get another friend. I could get another. You know what I'm saying?
We know what you meant.
Yeah. It's endless. The world is endless. Like losing one person, I could get 10 more. So that's why I don't look at it that deep. Like people to me, they say it's for a season. I truly believe that. Okay, cool. Shoot. It is what it is. So yeah. Oh, to answer the question. Okay. Do you believe that men who you claim, did I answer this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. David wanted to say something.
Good evening, everybody, and I'm glad you were talking about a topic on how young boys get verbally abused by their mom. And I can relate to, I spoke to a lot of boys growing up in my junior high school days while going to Job Corps, and it's very similar. Either they was told that they wasn't good enough by their parents. They were told just like their father. They were prevented from going outside. We told several times you would never be amount of, and you wouldn't be good, you wouldn't be nothing, you wouldn't be amount of anything. Or here the worst one, you get belittled. Or you'll be your brother's slave, or you'll be X, Y, and Z. You will be a bum. You'll never be successful. There's a lot of things I've heard from other boys who went through some of the things I went through, being a broken home, coming from a single mom, and I had to be corrected here. Not every boy who grew up in a broken home end up becoming a simp. Some become very bitter, or how would I say this? They are, what would I say? They are turned off by women. I have met those type before in the past, whereby it's very, very dangerous, whereby they don't trust women. They expect women had to overprove themselves worthy. Because there was a time I have the thing called the one track contract in my younger days. I didn't have time for women back then. You piss me off, bye. You play a mind game, bye. You trying to pit me to fight over you with another guy? Bye. Try to lie on me? Bye. Any small ounce of trouble a woman bring to me, I cut her off and I disappear. I say, you can go meet whatever man. Now, there was one girl that said something real stupid, and I went in on her. And I'm sure a lot of women have said it before. They did the phrase, oh, I could get any man. Here's the problem. As a black African nerd, that's the worst thing you can say to me because I will make you regret that statement.
Oh, goodness.
And this is what I say for better. Yes, you can get any man. You can get a crackhead. You can get a bum. You can get a white beater. You can get a drug dealer. You can get a prison pal. You can get a two-faced baby daddy. And I list all the worst scenario kind of men in front of her. I say the one you can never get is D man. You can get any man, but not D. And I did it on purpose because I was dangerous with my mouth. I was known to destroy people's self-esteem. So when a lady say that thing to me, I let her know, yes, you can get any man. You can get a rapist, but you're not gonna get D man. And I walk out of her life. When I did that, I didn't realize that I gave her a different kind of trauma. I made her regret what she said because I heard a lot of women say that to a lot of guys, and that just really turned me off. Just giving you a little confession of the black sheep.
Thank you,
Thank
David.
you, David. Thank you, David. Would anyone else like to comment on the question?
No, I'm done on that one. I'm done on that one.
Look, I'm lost on this one. I wouldn't know how the transformation would take place or what my role will be in it. I have no idea. So we are going to read the super chats and then we'll go to a video. Oh, hello, Kasim. If a man wants masculine respect, then he has to abide by masculine responsibilities, and women have a special response to it. Thank you, Kasim. Thank you. Let's see, and who was next? Was there another?
Woman, whether it's your narcissistic wife, girlfriend, partner, whatever, why is she using the silent treatment on you? For narcissistic women, the silent treatment is kind of like that favorite form of manipulation, of passive-aggressive behavior that is indeed a punishment for you. It doesn't mean that you screwed up. It means that she just wants to be right, or she wants the control. Maybe you guys just had an argument that she understood she's not going to win. So what does she do? She decides to completely ice you. Okay, she's going to silent treatment you like this until you are the one that's begging for her to stop. Because silent treatment is a very harsh, very sadistic form of punishment. It's basically her telling you that you don't deserve to be acknowledged as a human being. Your existence doesn't matter. That's what the silent treatment communicates. And when we're with a narcissist, remember, the person doesn't know how to communicate, right? Because a communication is a two-way street, and a narcissist only wants to be heard. They only hear themselves talk. They have no consideration for the things that come out of your mouth. So your narcissistic woman is treating you like this right now so that you start begging and apologizing for things that you haven't even done. Okay, so you go start guessing what it is that you've done wrong. And the answer is probably nothing. It's probably just her wanting that control because she needs that external validation so that she can feel like she matters. You're dealing with a broken person here. Okay, if your fridge breaks, you're not going to expect for it to be working the next morning. Same goes with these people. Don't expect for them to ever change. Even the ones that have the self-reflection, that are capable of that introspection, that go to therapy and put in the work, even those people, those narcissists, have very little chance of improvement. It's there, but there's very little chance of it. Okay, so don't expect for somebody that thinks that they have zero issues and you're the problem for them to wake up a changed human being. Not gonna happen. I hope this helps you guys. Why is your
Wow, okay. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate your opinion.
I seen it. Let's see. I will have to be on that one. That silent treatment is something else. We as women, we know what that silent treatment is to us when the man give it to us. the first thing we do, we be in our feelings, we be mad as hell, we be thinking all kinds of different scenarios in our head while they giving us the silent treatment. So imagine what the man go through when you give him the silent treatment after, y'all had a little talk or whatever. Because a lot of times women, we have to catch ourselves because we'll give of our husbands the silent treatment real quick without even knowing it, because we still pissed off at what he told us earlier in the day or last week. You know how we get, we be like, they be like, what's wrong with you? First thing we do, lie. Nothing. Ain't nothing wrong. But we showing in our actions because we're not speaking to them, and we, inside our brains, we got our arms all folded up, pouting like a little girl. So yeah, we really have to watch. Y'all, the women know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. We be mad as hell when they tell us certain stuff. We just get in our little girl zone, whatever. But we as women know how it feels to get that silent treatment from our husbands, but it's a different ball game when it comes to men. Silent treatment, yes, silent treatment work, yes. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about
Feel you, Lou.
right.
Feel you. It doesn't bother me too much.
That's what I'm laughing. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about a boisterous woman that want to call you a BAN all the time, that want to talk about you and your mama and everybody else and belittle you. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the other women that actually, the one that you can actually have a relationship with. Y'all able to, if you have arguments, you can actually sit down and come to a common ground on things. I'm talking about those. I'm not talking about the ones that belittle you. Of course, get a remote, make sure you have it on supercharged, so as soon as you're ready to turn down that volume, it just go from 100 to 0 in 2.2 seconds. I'm not talking about those.
Yeah, I feel Lou and Trey personally.
Right.
It doesn't bother me. If you're that immature that you're pulling something like that, then what do I have to say to you? Really?
I mean, I was laughing at that video. I can't stop laughing because her definition of the silent treatment was like so bad. I was like,
yeah.
Like, God damn. Like, when I think of silent treatment, it wasn't that. So I was dying laughing. Like, some women really think like this. That's crazy, because that's dangerous to have that mind and you with a man. Because anything goes at that point. Let him look at you twice. You already gonna be on snap. Like, but my silent let me see. Well, about the silent treatment, my silent treatment is normally, if it's basically it'll be like agree to disagree type of conversation. And it's kind of like, I don't got nothing else to say. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do what I'm doing. You want to talk to me about it? That's on you. We could talk, but right now I'm done talking, like, because I don't know what else to say. So it's more like that is the silent treatment, but it's not like intentional. It's in the sense of like, I hate him or something. It's
yeah, exactly.
It's
just like, wow.
Yeah, but that silent treatment. I'm not talking about like if you get into a disagreement with your husband and you silent. Of course, we know we need to be silent so they can regroup or whatnot. They'll come to us when they're ready to talk. I'm not talking about that kind of silent treatment. I'm talking about the silent treatment when you quiet all damn day. Your man want to have sex with you. You don't want to do it. You want to do the starfish. All that. You know what I'm saying? That's all a silent treatment. You just showing them that you're not interested. Also, the silent treatment also goes down to, say, for instance, your husband want to eat. They could tell ain't no love in that food. As soon as you cook it, they could taste the hate.
Golly, that's torture, Lou. That's torture, not the silent treatment.
That's funny.
He even agree with me, because I'm telling you that all falls under that silent treatment when it comes to us, how we treat our husbands. We be so pissed off, like, oh, well, he think he know better, so we just cooking stuff, giving them bland food. You didn't put the food in it like you needed to. He know how you cook. He know how you cook, sis. You come to him with some death in the pot, he know you mad, okay?
That's funny. I'm very I'm depends on every relationship, but I'm not the silent treatment type of person, because I don't like the silent treatment. I'm like, I'm more of a needy one. So it's like, you're not talking to me. Excuse me. Like, no, sir.
Don't overlook the Granny Inferno, because that is lethal. All black men do not like that.
The Granny Final.
Oh,
they don't like
but you know what, sis? I'm with you on this one because I am that way too. My husband, he mad about something. I let him go on and cool off, but guess what I do? I call myself being a wife. I want to cuddle, so I'm all up on him. I'm doing like this, like doing my little thing, going to him.
I'm not like that.
I'm not.
I'm cool with the breaks or whatever. Don't bother me too much.
My husband, I'm like, sis, I'm needy. I'm coming right at you. I'm snuggling on you.
Buying processed food.
I'm doing something. I'm
raised blood pressure, cholesterol.
I'm doing something. I am doing something. I'm gonna be like, look, you're not gonna be silent with me for long. I'm gonna play with your ears. I'm gonna do something annoying to you.
She'll start cleaning up. She'll start cleaning up by me and stuff like that. Like she'll start sitting down.
She'll start cleaning up by you.
Like
wow. Oh yeah.
Then she'll sit down next to me. I'm like,
I think more. I'll start cleaning up.
Extra dusting.
I'm like that. I think I've been like that. Like if I even before a relationship, if I'm mad, I'm gonna start cleaning up and I'm gonna blast the music. And I just we gonna get through this and I'm gonna have a clean ass house. And then now I'm at peace. And then, all right, what was we doing? Yeah, that's true.
Oh gosh!
Look at sis. Yep, I cook a lot. My husband told me that I was his favorite restaurant. I know how to throw down. I've been cooking since I was 6-7 years old.
Yeah,
I had elder women teach me how to cook, and what I don't like is, I know this off topic. What I don't like is when we grew up. Especially my generation grew up, we had home economics. They taught us how to cook. They taught us how to sew. They taught us how to garden. We had all of that. And then like soon as like the 1990 came in or 91, they took all that out of the urban schools. But if you go to the communities, they still have that. They even have
taught in the house
where they show them, they show them how to manage your pocketbook. How to do checkbook. I know this because my kids went to a school like that. It was them, and they showed them how to do everything, how to write a check, how to balance books, all of that. Our schools don't even have that at all. And and I'm looking at a lot of these women. They don't even know how to boil water. Only thing they know of is a microwave.
Yeah,
that's it. They don't know how to cook.
Yeah, it's like that with the boiling water. I seen that firsthand. Like, you trying to boil what? Hot dogs? Like, girl.
Boil a hot dog. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. You know how to cook now, but I just remember I can never forget that day. I was like 16. I'm like, are we serious right now? My mom cooks she cooked Monday through Friday. But she taught me how to cook when I was young. I just wasn't interested. But since I watched her all the time, when I moved out the house, I made my first meal and it was good. So I guess
what was it?
Macaroni and cheese, barbecue chicken, cornbread, that was my first meal because I love mac and cheese.
Oh, wow.
So I made it just like how she taught me. And it was good. I had my friends come over and the pans were done. So I'm like, okay, so I know how to cook, even though it's my first time. But I don't know.
Awesome.
Women not knowing how to
cook is because their parents didn't teach them.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly. Some of
that's
them
not entirely true because my mother did not teach me at all. Everything was from a box or a can. We had to figure it out ourselves, but as I became an adult, I was determined to learn. So it's like anything, I take it in your own hands.
And there's so many like cookbooks and YouTube and they be on TikTok to watch other stuff and Instagram. Why don't you go on there and learn some recipes and stuff like that? Because the first thing that I learned how to make was a cake by scratch, and I'm talking about not no box. Not no box. We had the cake flour. You know that Swan cake flour?
Ooh, child, my bread machine. I made every type of bread.
Me too. We learned about the bread, all of that. And I still know how to make that stuff today.
Getting that yeast balance just right.
Yep.
That's nice.
My mama used to do, man. I swear.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I
I
grew
love
up,
it. It's
you know what?
fun.
Right. I grew up watching, the women in my family, they wake up at 4:30 in the morning. They cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They getting it all out the way.
Yes,
Mhm.
and as being a homemaker back then, and staying at home, cooking early always was good. Like I was just like, why would I cook every like on the hour? So breakfast is
Yeah,
at
that's
8,
ridiculous.
and then okay, wait, I gotta have the food ready before 12. Like it was just like, yes, that sounds cool, but not every day it needs to be like that. Let me just get it out the way, plan it, prep it, and yeah, that's always better.
Prep. You can freeze
That's
a
old
lot of
school.
items.
Yep, and that's
Mhm.
old school prepping because when you do that, you still have food for the next day where you don't even have to cook because sometimes the
Mhm.
kitchens get hot, especially in the summertime. Summertime, you up in there melting. Now, thank God it's just me and my Lord right now. We have our daughter with us, but it's just us right now. But other than that, when it went from a family size of it was 7 of us. So it went from 7 and it went all the way down to just 3 of us now, and it's gonna go down to 2 soon. So it's like, and y'all know what? I'm so used to cooking for a big family. Sometimes I cook too much food and I have
Mhm.
to freeze it and stuff like that because I'm so used to cooking for a whole bunch of people. Now, mind you, I grew up in a big family, so we always had like my parents had 4 of us, and we had like 12 cousins who was always there at the house every day. And then had an uncle that I used to beat up because he was younger than me, and so we always had this big family gathering, so it was always food around. So I was just so used to cooking a lot, and then when I had my own family, I had to learn how to tone it down. But it took my husband to be like, "Baby, we don't need all that food no more. We don't have all the kids in the house no more. So
Same
try
way.
to tone it down." But it's hard.
It was the same for me. Like when me and him first started our relationship, I would make like monster meals, and the plate was a monster plate, and I didn't know how to tone it down. I was like, "What you mean?" Like,
I don't eat that
True,
much.
and I'm like,
Trey.
I'm confused because he's complaining about more food when I'm like, no, you want this food, but you don't want that much. Like, y'all, you confusing me. But I toned it down a lot now. Now I need to put it back how I used to cook because we got so many kids now. I'm like, I need to go back to my old ways. I had to make 2 pans of everything now. But
And that's and Trey touched on another topic near and dear to my heart: health, mental health, physical health. It's all tied together. But women, for the most part, we maintain the household, we maintain the diet of the household.
Mhm.
Therefore, the health and the longevity and the of the household. So, being willing to learn what a healthy diet is, and
Right.
being willing and have the courage to break those traditions,
And you know
that are
what,
so
sis?
embedded in our culture.
Yep, and you know what, sis? The first thing my great grandmother used to tell us that the kitchen was the medicine cabinet of the
Mhm.
home. So you have to be careful on, what you serve your family. Make sure you know how to clean it. And that's another thing. A lot of women don't know how to cook greens, cabbage. They don't even know nothing about beans. They get those beans, throw it in the water, and throw it on the stove and start cooking it. You're supposed to degas those beans,
Clean
y'all.
them and soak them.
You're supposed to soak them overnight so it can be,
Mhm.
so that you can degas them and they can be softer. So by the time you cook them, they'll be soft, and they don't even know how to do that. They just get the bag, open it up, throw it in a pot, cook it, and they do the same with the rice. I'm like, you're supposed to clean that rice, sis. It's dirty,
Oh,
right?
yes, that's so. You see it in the water. You gotta wash it
Yeah.
like at least 3 times.
I'm like, come on,
Ugh,
y'all can't
all
wash
kind of critters be floating in it. Ugh.
the greens. They just take it right out
Say it
the bag,
again. You
throw
gotta
it
watch the rice how many times? 3
At
times?
least 3
at least
times. At
3 times.
least.
Yep.
Now here it
And
is.
then
I
start
can
cooking about
cook
it.
African style. We watch it 4 times. The 4th time is for the hoping that there's nothing that left behind. But I've
Right.
been told by other folks, oh, you're not supposed to watch the rice.
Ugh.
Ugh.
And
See the water's discolored.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh my
Mm.
God.
I spent 7 years in the motherland, and I was taught
Black
the discipline of cooking.
wild rice tray
Right.
We
Yeah, I
pick our
don't.
beans,
only.
we
Yeah,
soak our
Trey,
beans.
I don't even eat rice. I end up what I did in my house because I have to be watch out for my husband's health. what we do in place of rice is cauliflower rice. Either I do it myself
That's
or I
good.
buy it and steam it, because this is what I did, y'all. I made red beans and rice, right? But I used the cauliflower rice. Y'all talking about good. The family tore it
Good.
up.
That's
And it's
good.
just like, and it's more
Eat
healthier.
some with a
Yeah.
cauliflower crust. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I love
Mhm.
cauliflower on a lot of stuff. So we're, going into, because I'm doing the healthy keto. So so I can, because I have PCOS right along with the other symptoms that stuff that's going on with me. So I really got to watch what I eat, especially when it comes to the bread. All of that unless if I'm making it, that's the only way I'm gonna eat it. I can't eat the store bought because they have all kinds of different stuff up in there that's really killing our gut, and we really don't know what we putting in. And and stay away from those fast food restaurants, because I had a scare like years ago. I don't know if anybody ever heard of H. pylori. I didn't even know nothing about this. I ended up getting some restaurant food from northern Michigan, got sick, and I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't hold anything, whatever. They asked me, did I go to a third world country? I said, what you mean? I never traveled out the United States. They said, what you have is in third world countries. Coming to a restaurant, in the restaurants, a lot of these people that work up in there don't wear gloves. They don't wash their hands. They hire people that have those nails. And and that's what's going on. If you don't do your food, if you don't cook your food yourself, you gonna easily get sick. Then we end up, remember sisters, that they had a video years ago where the people was acting like they didn't know you supposed to clean chicken. They just grabbed the chicken and bread it and sprinkle a couple of salt and whatever pepper and put it in the fryer. And that's when, coming to find out, a lot of these restaurants are doing that. They don't wash the chicken. They just go ahead, flour it, and you wonder why when you eating this chicken like Popeyes and all the other stuff. Sorry, the name drop. You wonder why you get sick, because 9 times out of 10 they're not cleaning that chicken.
No
That's
longer
crazy.
eat chicken.
There's so I grew up eating a whole, like, my mom made stuff from scratch, but it was like, the soul food type. And then on my other side, we got the Caribbean side. So you got like the curry chicken, rice and peas and stuff, plantains and stuff. But as I was, being married, I had to learn. We used to eat that. And macaroni and cheese is my favorite to this day, but I only eat that once a year now.
Yeah.
And I do not shock my body from not eating anything that could be a little toxic, only because that's like not life to me. Like, there's going to be a time where I'm going to have to eat a packaged food, and I don't want my body to get a culture shock from it. When things go down, I got to be able to eat anything that's going to keep me surviving. So I still eat things, but I eat it in moderations. But now I'm just trying to learn how to unlearn basically the stuff that I used to like to eat. Now I'm like, okay, let me eat healthier. What does that look like? Because back in the day, it just looked like macaroni and cheese, some chicken, some, all this other stuff I'm talking about. But now, with rice, our replacement for rice is quinoa. The black wild rice is good. Other grains and stuff. So I try to do that, eat more vegetables, of course. But yeah,
ladies, I highly recommend 1 meal a day and intermittent fasting.
I do that.
Highly recommend it. Don't you feel like you're on cloud 9 all the time?
Yes, but
just chill.
I was telling my husband, so I was like, one time, when I was doing the live, right? I didn't eat all that day. I wasn't hungry or nothing. And
good.
What I do is like, what is that? I do the OMAD. I eat within a 1 hour window. I'm good as long as I got my what I'm supposed to have in there as far as the nutrients. You can go all day. All you need is some water, because all I drink is water. And if I wanted something like a pop, because I don't drink pop anymore, but I do get something that's called like the Zevia. It got the stevia in it, the pops, and it's clear and it's actually good. But I drink that about probably a can like twice a week or something like that. So it's real good. That's the way that'll keep me from craving for sugar, because I have to stay away from the sugars. and it really helps out with that. So I found the neck to, if I wanted something sweet, I grab one of those pops and drink that down or whatever, whatnot. It's zero everything, 0 calories, 0 everything.
Dates are awesome.
Yeah, I love it, and there's no dyes in there, so it's real good.
Just at peace, helping to embrace that feminine energy when you just calm and cool, and it says, you know, it helps with everything, you know, all of our functions and our mental, you know, clarity just helps with everything.
Mm-hmm. You feel good, and then your skin is clear to where you don't have to put makeup on, because I don't wear makeup, and if I do, y'all sisters probably know what I'm talking about when I say CC cream. All you need is like a little of it on your finger and rub it on your face. That's the far, you know, the farthest I go with the makeup. But your skin is so clear, you don't break out and all that other stuff. But start eating some junk food. That's when you get all that, you know, your pores open up and you get bumps all on there.
Mm-hmm. All the mucus and inflammation.
Yeah, healthy habits, and like Trey said,
y'all.
Trey said, you could tell the ones that eat unhealthy, they have those thick ankles.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff.
I used to what is it? I think it's I may be mispronouncing. I think it's hypoglycemic.
Yeah.
Years ago, if I'm telling y'all, if I didn't eat regularly throughout the day, I became an absolute monster. Like head spinning, exorcist. And we had a rule, my husband and I, we had a rule that we didn't speak if I got to that point. And it's like I could feel it coming. I was trying to fight it. But if something was, I used to work, you know, I used to work a lot. So
you turned into the Tasmanian devil, sis.
Yes, if y'all can imagine, oh my gosh, just evil. It's like I didn't have control. I'd be crying for no reason and just mad at everything. I changed my diet up. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, that is good. Exercise too, like somebody said, exercise too. That's real essential.
Mm-hmm.
And letting go of
medicine.
Letting go of milk. Like I used to just drink milk with a pancakes, cookies, or whatever.
Oh, me too.
Let go of milk. It let go of whatever type of acne I used to have is gone. Never had it after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that milk is something. That milk is
addictive.
It's addictive. They have all that. Not only that, they got the what they add antibiotics in it. It has. Now, say for instance, for people that a lot of people don't know this. Say for instance, people have a penicillin allergy, like I had. I didn't know, but you drinking that stuff and that's what they using, and you end up getting sick, and it does it wreak havoc on your stomach. So, and it also causes ulcers. A lot of people don't know that as well. So we really not even supposed to be drinking that milk.
No, that's the baby cow's food.
We stealing from the babies, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But we paying for it though. Make that make sense.
And there's like tails, there's all type of nasty crap in there. It's like that was because she used to, like, I had stopped drinking milk before she did. And then when she found out it was pus cells in it, she was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah, I was done. And then I used to get sick. I used to get sick from it, and I was like, I was like 22, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm good." And the pus cells took me over. So I noticed.
And eggs.
I love me some eggs though.
I get.
But I'm not gonna say anything. Then
go ahead. I need to learn this.
But first,
That's a chicken's period. That's a chicken's menstrual cycle.
But I get what I do when I
and it comes out of one hole. Poop, everything comes out of one hole.
But you know,
did I ruin it for you? you gave me permission. I love you.
Vegan now. She's gonna get on you about that. She's gonna get on you about that. But when it comes to the eggs, though, say for instance, if you do get the eggs, the only eggs I normally would get would be the pasture raised ones that I know that's pasture raised. I don't deal with the cage free. I don't deal with that other stuff. You know, it's because they eating the poop and everything else, and you like, and you just eating these eggs. And I know, I put y'all to a test. Whenever people that eat eggs, if you crack an egg open and it's orange, like that deep orange, they're healthy. You crack open that egg and it's pale, like yellow and white looking, whatever, that's is no nutrients in there. That's the ones that ate the poop and everything else, and you actually regurgitating that stuff. So you have to really pay attention to it. That's why I highly recommend for people to get the pasture raised eggs or go to an Amish farm because they actually be on it with the eggs. But other than that, those like Walmart and all that other stuff, they selling people those old eggs.
You see Trey's comments.
What he say?
I'm a little slow.
I am done.
Just now catching.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess.
Eggs are harmless.
Okay.
No, I'm glad you said that though. Because I was watching this video of this man who you don't eat the shell. There's a man, he makes pasta from scratch, but his eggs are orange. So he'll, put the flour on this big table and make a little pocket, like a hole with the flour, and he'll dump in these orange eggs into it. And I'm like, okay, so orange, and I'm like learning about orange eggs, and I'm, say, okay, these are like the most healthier ones. And I'm like, dang, where can I get that? There's an Amish market close by us too. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna start thinking of that. We had went back to the white eggs only because I ate so many. And it was just easier to just buy a bulk, right? But I just never took the time to go back. Okay, where can I get what I want for a lesser price? Or maybe I just need to stop eating so much. I get back to the healthier ones.
Yeah, but it's we have to really pay attention to a lot of things that's cheap isn't good for us. A lot of things that's cheap is not good for us. Pay attention to those eggs. If you see them light and pale looking, 9 times out of 10, they're expired, they're old, and they don't have the nutrients. It's like you just eating air. So you thinking you getting those nutrients and eating those, you're really not because they're not the color where it needs to be at.
Got you. Okay. That's good. I just ran out of my bulk eggs. So
I love it. I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. So for question number 12, I want you to think back to a time, maybe been recently, maybe a long time ago, when you've, let's say, you've experienced disrespect. Okay. Think back to that time. Now imagine a man that you love, Lady Di, your wonderful husband, James. Imagine him experiencing the same amount of respect that you experience. How would you respond? How would you feel?
Wait, so I'm sorry, I got lost. So you're saying the way how I felt disrespected, that feeling that I got, and then now that same disrespectful feeling I got, he has now.
Someone's done it to him, and you witnessed it.
And I witnessed it. You saying what would I do to help him out? Well, first I would see how he's gonna respond, and if it's too like violent, then I'll try to calm him down. So that's because I'm not gonna be out there with him trying to fight unless it depends, but like somebody has to piss me off too for me to be pissed off with him. But most of the time I'm trying to make sure that he is under control because anything could just go really wrong really quick. And I like our life a little bit too much to just like sacrifice that. So because it didn't happen to me, I'm able to be the other head and like, okay, let me calm him down and stuff. So that's kind of what would happen.
Now, do you mind sharing your thoughts and what you envision?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a time like that actually. This was like last year. It's just like seeing him upset like that, like somebody else did it. I don't like seeing that. So I would like how can I say? What happened was he was very upset and just he started cursing and his vein right here was popping.
James, do you remember the scenario?
He was on the phone.
Yeah, yep. I remember.
And And I already knew this in the situation. It just escalated. So then what I did was I like came to him as he's going off. I came to him and I just touched him.
Oh,
right.
That's the power.
And I wanted him to feel, okay, I'm right here. So he won't, you know how you yelling or whatever, you might, do one of these because you upset, right? Everybody's different how they respond, but for him, it could be a little crazy. So when just like this, just to calm him down, because I'm like, I'm right here, yo. Relax. And I did one of these. And then he turned towards me a little bit. He still was going off. So I was like, okay, it's all right. Like, I understand why you're upset, but I was just kind of looking at him like calm, just give him that look, like just calm down. So then I did one of these. Because this wasn't working too much. It took it down like one notch. So I did one of these, 2 hands, and I'm like really tight. And he did start to calm down, and I was like, you're gonna have to hang up this phone. Like, because whoever's not gonna see what you're saying, it's just gonna keep going in circles. And then after a while, I don't know what happened, but the person on the phone started to kind of backtrack, like almost apologizing. And I was like, that's cool. But this is not the right time. Let's not finish this right now. So I just was like, yeah, you should hang up eventually. Like, just kind of like walk away type of thing. And it worked. Me doing this and this worked. Just to calm down. So that's how that looked. I was mad. No, don't trust and believe. I ain't like what was going on.
Right.
But us 2 people going back and forth with one person ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
So, yeah. So
I have to be up there with sis on it, but I do something differently though.
Okay.
I won't have to check that person that's disrespecting my husband because I know he have it, but you will get that phone call, especially if you're a woman.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I agree with everything you said, sis, but I'm telling you, me, yeah, we gonna have to have that talk later, and you won't like it because I'm like, I'm very territorial. You don't disrespect mine. Now, I give my husband his space because I know he can handle any and everybody. But if it's somebody, especially a family member, I'm dealing with you. I'm dealing with you because you're not going to I'm not going to sit back because you already know how it is with women. If they see that they can disrespect your husband and you don't say nothing right then and there, they're going to keep pushing until they get that A whooping. So let them know right then and there is none of that. So I trust my husband to, to do what he have to do to deal with his own conflicts and whatnot. So the best thing to do when that's happening is for us as the wives not to really say nothing because that's like taking his authority away. So let him go on and deal with it. But afterwards, I'm checking you. I'm checking you somewhere else, boo. You ain't gonna be talking to my husband like that.
I have to learn that. So with me, it's like 0 to 100. So if I have to call, I don't like talking. If I have to call you, that's bad. Like, and for me, I ain't no calling. I'm not a fighter. I'm not saying I'm a fighter. It's just I don't. Y'all know how I feel about disrespect and stuff. So it's kind of like I'm not gonna say nothing because it's really not much for me to say except you about to get these hands, like, because I just don't know it in between. So I have to learn. I'm trying to learn that. I'm trying to learn that.
So you don't have to say much. All you have to say is, I seen that you did earlier. I seen what you did. I'm watching you. Don't let it happen again. So
okay.
Okay.
Got it. Because I'm like, it's nothing. I'm thinking about all these different things you could say. And I'm like, I can't even, but doing that, yes. Like, I'll check a person. I could check a person real quick. I got you on that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
James, is there anything you'd like to share?
No, if I'm like, if it was the reverse.
All right, so it's the reverse. So it depends, right? So if it's a man, You know, well, if it's a man or a woman, right? I kind of handle it similarly, but like I always tell her, like, even if it's a woman fighting, I don't want her to fight the woman. I fight her. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because it's like, because I want to make sure whoever trying to come at her feel it. You know what I mean? So I think, because I'm just saying, like, because I'm gonna give us some warning, like, yo, go ahead before I go crazy on you. But I think we have to check a lot of the foolishness in our community, and then if women are gonna say, hey, me and you the leaders, all right, I'm trying to be a leader right now, all right, you need to go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna give you a couple warnings, right? But if you want to step up, you want to continue to talk, all right, cool. I'm gonna show you what the leader do, type of deal. So.
See, he told me this before, and I was like, no. No. If it's a man, hey, have at it. But I don't know. I'm not sure, like, back in the day how it was, but that, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I have no tolerance of that. I think, and if we were how we was back in the day, right, where the women were very soft and all that type of stuff, I wouldn't have that mindset. But I think we got to the point of we lost control as men in our community, right? So I think we got to get that control back, and the only way to get control back, you got to use violence. Nobody got control back of anything without violence.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So even when they got this, they doing the 4th of July right now. How you think they got the 4th of July to be able to celebrate it?
Fighting the British. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Right. So us thinking that we're gonna get out of this clean without women fighting or men fighting, it's not gonna happen that way, honestly. Sadly to say.
Yeah, it is sad to say. I would like to share my experience. Well, this has been more than I would like to have been, but one in particular stands out was involving racism. And I was a waitress for a long time. So, and I worked in some diners and whatnot. So I've had, experiences with racism and men just being, disrespectful and whatnot. But there was an area in which my husband experienced racism that I witnessed. And everything in me wanted to do something. Like I wanted to like call the news and whatnot and get them involved. It was our former landlord messaged my husband emoji of a monkey, and he said it was accidentally. But come on now, how you gonna accidentally message somebody emoji of a monkey? This was after they had some type of conflict, some type of issue. And my husband was livid. He was livid. And I wanted to do something, but I didn't really know what to do. I looked into getting a lawyer, going to the news. But then my husband was like, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Now I'm lost, I'm lost, and I felt helpless. I don't know what happened between them after that. It wasn't pleasant. But I don't know all the details. He, sometimes y'all don't share, which is for the best times. So that's the thing that sticks out to me the most. But I remember feeling I was boiling inside, just boiling,
Yeah. I feel you. Sometimes I'm sorry, he says, but sometimes we be wanting to be there for our husbands. Like, ooh, you know what? Just want to rip their head off. But we as women, we want to rip their head off our husbands. But we have to remember, we have to stay in our location, ladies. Let the man deal with it, because for one, they're more logic and they can see things that we don't see. We just see red and we see you and we want to jump on you and take care of you, but we're not looking at our surroundings.
It's hard. That's hard.
Because we zoom in on our angle, like, oh, I see you. We don't see no other danger around. We just see that person we want to pounce on. So really, it's best to let the man deal with that. That's the reason why, that's the importance of having one, because we get ourselves in so much trouble. Look, we overspend, we overthink, we overdo everything. So we need that balance. So
Yeah, there was a time where it happened in person, and I actually got upset, and I was about to fight the guy. It was a guy. He got upset, and it was almost a fight, or it was a fight kind of thing. The guy disrespected James and hit him. Remember on the basketball court?
Oh,
Basketball court.
hit me,
but no, normally.
So this is what happened, right? I guess basketball, like, so he had hit me like in my face, like you know how like somebody elbow you type of deal.
Okay.
Right?
He was
So he like elbowed me. I think like once or twice.
A lot.
And then after that, it wasn't a lot.
It's like he was doing it on purpose. Like I'm watching, like he's in it, but I'm like watching. I'm like, why does this guy keep like purposely doing it? And when James played basketball, he don't get mad. Like I see a lot of dudes just pissed off, and that's kind of like how the basketball thing is. But James normally he's like real cool, and if stuff happened, he's like he brushed it off. But this time he got upset, and he like pushed after the last one, he pushed the guy to fight him to see, I guess, what he was gonna do. And the guy was trying to fight him back, but it pissed me off because I'm watching the whole time, and I'm like, yo, I don't see James getting upset, and you
remember the story,
and you just pissed him off. I do.
No, she done. They got to try to fight you back. I pushed his ass. He slid back like 5 feet, and his ass laid there. And
he did. He came back. It's just that people was holding him back.
Nah, yeah, nobody holding him back. His ass and get up and go towards me.
Oh my. See, it's different. Different sight, you know, when you're in the fight and people watching the fight. But anyway, when that stuff was happening, I actually was about to go on court because I never God. Yeah, it was crazy. But no, one of my friends held me back. So I'm glad she did that because I'm like, yo, I just got out of line. Like, okay, what was I about to do? Because I'm not like I don't fight, especially I don't fight men. But it kind of pissed me off because I don't see him like that. So the fact that this guy got him like that, something is really off.
Yeah.
But you know, I learned, you know, not to be like that. So
we gotta make sure, you know, we stay in our place because we can make everything worse, you know, worse than it needed to be for our husbands and put them in danger without knowing it.
Exactly. Yep. And this were we married at this time? I think we were first. No, I don't think we were married yet.
It's probably like 10 years ago.
But I learned. I'll never forget that day. But I learned not to like do that type of stuff because it was like, what am I about to do? Like, but yeah, I don't do that type of stuff at all now. I found ways, you know, being married and stuff, how to calm him down. Because my main thing is just calm him down if it's needed. Sometimes, you know, I step away if it's something that he just has to really handle. But if it's something like, okay, I don't want this to go left, so I just calm down, whatever. But I normally don't get into it, to be honest with you. He just does it on his own, and he just does his manly thing. And if it's something that I think I need to step in, I will. And most of the time, he just leave him alone.
You know what I used to do, sis? Like, say for instance, because you know our husbands get pissed off. Say you going to take care of some business, you with your husband, and they just like be offish or something, and you know your husband have to repeat themselves 4 times. A man don't like to repeat themselves more than once. So you know, like my husband, they act like they don't hear anything he's saying. He's boisterous for one. So when I see him getting like mad or something, what I do, I just I put my hand on his arm or I put my hand on his leg and I rub him a little bit like, okay. So he know what it is. And that actually calms my husband down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, baby, you know. So he already know we here to take care of business. I know you want to rip their head off, but you can talk all your mess in the car when we leave, okay? But baby, let's go and take care of our business and get it over. I know they piss you off, so we really have to be that like support. We can support like that. We really don't have to be boisterous with it because again, that's absorbing our authority over our husband. So let him deal with it. Oh my God!
The trunk. Giddy pop. Okay.
My husband used to drive a truck. I used to be with him, y'all. I'm telling you, I had so much fun. Although they wasn't paying what they needed to pay because they doing them truck drivers dirty. Yeah. But I went with my husband all over the United States. That's the first time we had a ball. I made sure I had a ball with my husband. We went from we went to what was that, California, which it was raining out there. I was kind of pissed about that, y'all. But my husband wanted to take me to Phoenix, Arizona, because he actually wanted me to see it because that's where he wanted us to move to. My nose was bleeding. He felt so bad. Too much heat. I have a lot of hair. So, when you have a lot of hair, and I've always been like that since I was a kid, be outside, I want to play and stuff. And my dad had to tell me, look, you got to go outside when it's not, the sun not beaming because your nose bleed. So he said he got to get me a portable humidifier when we go there. But it is so beautiful. I mean, I went all over with him and we made it, I made it easier for my husband to be on the road. And
yes, absolutely.
He made it easier for me. Yeah, he made it easier for me because I didn't have to worry what he was doing on the road. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of lot lizards out there. I said, "Oh my God, I'm not. Believe me, I'm not jealous or anything by all means and stuff. But I'm just being honest. It's like I was like, I'm gonna be missing my man, and he gonna be on the road for a while, like almost like months at a time or a month at a time. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm the same because I said if you ever drove a truck, because we used to have a trucking business. I said if you ever got behind that wheel, trust and believe I'm coming with you. We're gonna do this together. I'm gonna help you out.
Sis, if he ever do, you gonna have a time of your life. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Because I thought about him being on the road for a long time. And I'm like, that's not like what you said, I was like, exactly, that's not it. Okay. I don't even see how that can happen for you. So it's nope.
And I like to cuddle too. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be there. I'm not about to buy no Freddy. What's that Freddy bear that they got that 6 foot tall bear and put in the bed to replace you? Y'all heard about that Freddy?
Oh wow, no.
If he was deployed, I was like, give me them big ass teddy bears.
They have it's called a boyfriend bear, y'all. I'm gonna have to pull it up so y'all can see it. Showed it. And it had legs and arms and everything, and women was all folded up on them. They had Skinny Boy know what I'm talking. Believe me, Skinny Boy know what I'm talking about. It would have legs and everything. It had a broad chest, and the women just like this. But they say they don't need a man, but you buying bears to snuggle up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh boy. All right.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. We are going to move on to the next video. Please and thank you, David.
Withhold sex, who are shut down to sex, who see for the women out there who withhold sex, who are shut down to sex, who see sex as a chore and a burden in your marriage or relationship with a good man. Yeah. You want to especially pay attention because ED is the end game of what we are doing when we emasculate. So our emasculation of men is for these 3 objectives. The first reason why, as women, we cause ED in men is to eliminate the possibility of having sex in our marriage or relationship. This is how much as women we do not want to have sex. Once we get what we want, we get the marriage, we get the relationship, we get the kids, we get the financial security. Sex comes off the table. For the women out.
Now I have to say something about that. Withholding sex.
She was crying.
Yeah, but
okay.
She wasn't crying. It's just the way she's
okay.
She have a wife school. But disrespect, it does go in a lot of, it comes in a lot of forms, and one of those is withholding sex from your husband. Biblically, your body is his and his body is yours, and the Most High said you're not supposed to withhold sex. Even if I told my husband like this, you ain't got to worry. He know you ain't got to worry about me. I don't care if you mad, I'm mad. You don't want to deal with me. I don't want to deal with you. I'm not burning in hell because I'm not doing my wifely duties. I'm just being honest. Even if you don't feel like it, it's certain ways and certain positions you can do to let that man do what he got to do, so you can go on and get it out the way. Give him a kiss. All right, I love you too, and go turn around and go back to sleep. Do not deprive your husband of his due benevolence. Please don't do that, because that'll open a can of worms and other women. And we already know them 304s can smell when your man haven't had any sex. Because a man, I had worked with a lot of guys, and you could tell they ain't have any. They up in there disgruntled, mad, and everything. They look like they've been sucking on lemons and all that, because they ain't getting none from their wives. I heard a lot of men talking about, so they haven't had sex with their wives in about, it's like they had sex with their wife 4 times in a year. Come on, y'all.
Whoa.
It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. I'm like, wait a minute, but let me tell you guys something though. Unless a woman is on her menstrual, she had children, will she have to heal? If she not giving you no sex and somebody else getting it, I'm sorry. Either it's a toy there, or she got Bob the Builder store somewhere. I'm just being honest, because there is no way, as women, and I'm just gonna be honest, us as women, we are highly sexual. Highly. Don't let that fool you. We want it just as much as a man do. If I'm lying, I'm flying, because guess what? If you look at it, look at all these over sexualized women out there. They want to be the man so bad, and they running their body counts up. So ladies, do not deprive your man of sex. Please don't do it, because you opening the room for the cleanup woman, the woman that's in your apartment building, the lady across the street. Now, I don't know about other people, by me being Gen X, I used to see this. A man can be sleeping with every woman on the block, and women, either they know it or don't know it. And it's a whole bunch of kids that he fathered in that whole neighborhood. And you like, what in the world? So some people, that's why it's a lot of people, I found out when I was growing up, a lot of people, they didn't know that they was dating, they slept with, or they married their brother or sister.
Oh,
that's
gross.
bad. That, because they don't know that's, because the man is just getting around the women. I'm not going, the men getting around, but it's always going to be accessible box for a man. Always. So in other words, give that man what he married. If you don't give it to him, he's going to find it from somebody else. And then you'll be looking kind of off, because, you like, what, I'm not doing it. Then you have to look back like, when was the last time I had sex? When the last time I did anything sexual with him? When is the last time I told my man? And another thing, when was the last time you told your husband, oh, you sexy today, you smell nice today? You have to always boost his, it's your husband. Only one supposed to be boosting your husband's ego is you. Don't let no other woman do nothing for your husband. You make sure his balls is empty, his stomach is full. You know what I'm saying? You there for him to listen to him, because if you don't do that, I'm sorry to say it. So, I'm not giving a man an excuse, but this is what's going on. The men are going to do that because they're not getting it at home. Really, take care of your husband. He can make you mad. You can be pissed off with him all day long, but at the end of the day, to death do you part, ladies. To death do you part. And don't call yourself divorcing him unless it's detrimental to, your, if he gonna, he do the DV thing and all that other stuff. I'm not, because you're gonna get women telling something, but what if he hit me though? What if he do this? What if he do that? Always throwing the worst case scenario in. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the marriages that's actually works. And you found your person where you're able to sit down and have a discussion with him, because, or her. If you don't have that communication, all bets is off, and you're gonna always have issues and problems with that.
Where do you all think that stems from? I'm hearing that so often now that I'm in the YouTube streets, that women don't want to be intimate with their husbands.
Because I'm sorry, sis. I'm gonna say this, sis, and I'm gonna let you. It's gonna be quick. The reason why is because a lot of times the women not, they want the ring, they want the marriage, they want this, they want that. And then when they get that, that's not the man they want to be with. Because us as women, we do everything for the man we want. Mm-hmm. And we know this. Look at the women that's not married. I'll put it this way, the side chick, they want this man, right? They want this married man. They doing any and everything for this man so they think in their mind, if I do this, that, and the third, he gonna leave his wife and get with me. That's how it is. So they do everything they can to prove to this man, I want you. Why can't us as women, wives, do that for our husbands?
That's true. Yeah, it's two things. To answer the question, there's women who don't have a high sex drive. On top of that, they use excuse like, I'm tired from work. I'm tired from raising the kid, homework. I'm just tired of everything, right? And then when it comes to a man wanting sex, they don't want it because they literally just don't want sex. They're not in the mood at all. Those are the ones that have low sex drive because, normally if you have a higher sex drive, when them kids or whatever go to bed, you go freshen up, take a shower, you start to get back into your mind frame. But I feel like women are not even doing that. Sometimes things are caused because they keep causing it on themselves. They act like you can't change schedules up. Like if you're overwhelmed, and it's a long period of time and I haven't had sex. Like these are things you got to tell yourself like, okay, oh my gosh, damn, it's been, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, a week, whatever. They're not doing that. Everything is just about them. So it's selfish. But that's just on things on top of things. So low sex drive, everything's about everything else except her husband. And then she has no awareness. So she don't see her man walking around acting all crazy like he got a period, right? And she don't think that, oh my gosh, I haven't opened my legs. Like these things are like obvious. So that's that type of lady. Then you have women who don't like their husband like that. I think that's what Miss O was saying. They are annoyed because this man didn't do X, Y, Z. So it's common one will be like something stupid like, oh, I asked him to do something. Let's say it's about cleanliness. I wanted the trash out right now or whatever. He didn't do it. He did it the next day, right? Little things like that add up and they start to get annoyed with their husband.
Trash. What is up with this? Stay with the trash.
Socks on the floor, drawers on the floor.
Why take the trash? I don't understand this.
Yep.
I don't know.
No.
It's taking out the trash.
Yeah. The toilet seat is up, like all these little dumb stuff. And they just get annoyed by things that they want their husband to do and they haven't done it. So it's just high expectations of a man and your man just ain't like that. So you ask him to do something, his turnaround time is 24 hours, later. And you don't know that and you expect him to be something that he's not. So it's kind of like they just be annoyed and then they go cling on to somebody at work or they cling on to just another man, period, that they've been had in their back pocket. So they're like, I ain't giving him sex. He ain't giving me what I want. And it don't even be sex. It'll be other stuff. He ain't giving me romance. He ain't texting me I'm beautiful today. He ain't doing all this stuff that this is your husband. So he's still married to you. I know for a fact he still like you like that. Like, let's be real. He come home every night. You guys have great conversation and stuff, and you worried about he didn't do these things. This is what's running through women's mind. And this is what happens when you have sexless marriages, because it's just too much of a chaotic mindset. When all you have to think about is that Bible verse that Miss O said, and another lady is going to do it. That's 2. The third one is men are built different. So to have that sitting in the sack is not like a healthy choice. Okay. You are nurturing the house with a whole bunch of things. Food, sex is number 1. That's not nurturing someone's body. It's nurturing your body and his. But women not thinking of it like that. They just like, oh, he just
another chore. Y'all better get a quickie in. If you don't got time, I'm just being honest. Get a quickie in before he go to work or something. Do something, before you leave out the house. That way, that'll keep him going to like, yeah, it's gonna be something else later. Because really, when you do that, a lot of people don't know, sex wise, when you do like a quickie or certain things, make sure he get off and however way you gonna do it. he be fine for the rest of the day because you just released that stress. A lot of times women don't know that's a stress reliever, especially for your husband. He get home, that'll get him amped up to do something else. So that way, you get the kids in the bed. If you have kids, whatever, y'all have y'all little time together. That actually helps increase their testosterone. I found out, that's why I found that video. I found out when men not getting sex, the more they're not getting sex, the lower their testosterone gets. You really need to keep that up there because you don't want them to have ED at an early age. And then you're going to be miserable. And then you're going to make him feel like he ain't ish because he can't get up. But when you look at it, baby, you're the one that started that in the beginning. If you was to give him sex on a regular, he wouldn't have that issue. And y'all actually depriving these men of sex. It's like, oh, you marry me, so you're not gonna be messed with nobody else. I got you, so I don't have to give you any. He married your box too, sweetheart. He didn't just marry your man. He married your box too. Because if he knew you wasn't gonna give him no box, he wouldn't have married you.
That's funny.
Because men, when they call themselves vetting, when they looking for a wife, they do the pros and cons of each woman. And the ones that have the more pros than cons, those are the ones they choose. He chose you for a reason. Don't make him feel guilty on the choice that he made and stuff like that. Because in back his mind, he'd be like, hell, I could have dealt with Debbie if I knew this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how they think. We don't know this, but we got to keep that mindset.
Yeah, it's to answer your question. It's a selfish mindset. All they think about is themselves. They're depriving themselves too. They just don't know it. We also have stress that's relieved from us in other ways. But it's like if you married, it's togetherness. That's not togetherness. Now, there's days that go by where you really just might be tired and exhausted. And sometimes, husbands will see that and they won't really mess with you. But we're talking about a consistent basis. It's going on too long. To me, too long is like 3 days. Right? There's women going months. And I'm like, how are you not feeling this tension on you and the tension on him? And you okay with him walking around like that? I think that's so weird to me. But it's selfishness.
Yeah.
If I answer the question, because I think my wife was over explaining everything again. No, I'm joking.
Oh, hi.
I'm joking. But no, I would say it goes with the title of the what the title was, respect. So if you have that higher admiration for somebody and you value that person and you respect that person and stuff like that, right? You're gonna make sure you give them what they need. Just like you respect your boss, you make sure you do your work on time. You respect the people around you. They need you. You're there for them, and you help your friends out and stuff like that when they're in time of need. That's your partner's time of need. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like if somebody was attacking my lady, and I don't step in. You know what I'm saying? She's never look at me the same. So that's how a lot of men are looking at some of these ladies that's not, taking care of their needs. And then that's why sometimes they go and try to find it somewhere else, or they just don't look at that woman the same as they used to. And then they just look for the relationship again. So they can go back out there and find somebody else.
But it just seemed like the women just don't like their man. Because, like when you first get into a relationship, married, and you got that butterfly feeling. Like you still have that when the night is done and everybody's asleep and it's just you and him, you gotta have that feeling back. I don't care if you've been married 20 years. That you admired this man enough and you know what that is because you had it before. That's how you should look at your husband every night, whenever it is y'all do it. That's how you should look at him. And I just think women are not looking at their husband like that no more.
You know what, sis? And I have to back you up on that one. It's another thing too. Whatever we have in our mind, as far as how we feel about our husbands, also plays a factor when it comes to being sexually attracted to your husband. If you hate your husband in the mind, you will not be able to have sex with him. And that's wrong too, because that's still considered, to me, that's considered neglect, because you have this animosity towards your husband. You mad at him about something that happened years ago. And all of us women, we are guilty of it. We think about something bad that he had did to us and stuff. We be like, oh, I'm going to punish him. Without even knowing it, we punishing him because, in our mind, we thinking about some old stuff that he did. And, you know, and when it comes down to the sex part, we just start fishing it like, okay, go ahead and do what you got to do. They want willing participants, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they know when you have an attitude. If you're not cooperating, you know, they just doing all the work and you just laying there, a man could tell you have an issue and you have a problem with him. And it's only one or two things that man thinking about. Either they know that you pissed off at them, or they can sense that you entertaining another man. It's the same with these women. They out here now, as married women, we are not supposed to display our bodies to the world. Okay, that's what the hoes do. I'm sorry, but that's what they are. You know, you shouldn't be dressing like one. If you women, and to me, married women should not have single women friends. We shouldn't have them, because for one, they out there partying and stuff. They talking about your man and all this other stuff. They feeding their toxic, toxic traits on you, talking about men. My man ain't this. Oh, my man did that, and then you go home with that attitude because all that energy that they was talking about is on you. So you go home and you take it off on your husband. Your husband like, wait a minute, where the hell this come from? And they don't know that, you know, you didn't took this attitude and stuff from your friends, your bitter ass family members, the female family members and stuff like that. So you really have to watch out for who you hang around, because, you know, you hang around your kind. So if you hanging around hoes, I'm just saying for the men that's out there, if your wife hang around with hoes, and it's about 8 of them, expect her to be the ninth one. I'm just being honest, because that's what happens.
Even, oh goodness, that was a good breakdown, but you missed one part of that. Them single women want your man too.
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't have none. You ain't been around man.
Once I sense it slightly, I let their ass go. Like you, we gonna. I'm gonna figure out how to get rid of you, and we gonna do that because there's no way.
They size your husband up. They want to know all your dirt. They want to hear what happened with you and your man? Oh, he do you like this, he do you like that. And everything that you told this woman about your husband, she go back to your husband and tell him all this stuff, and she add her spin to it. And next thing you know, your husband is humping your friend because you run off at the mouth telling her all your business. We as women are keepers at home. In other words, our husband's business is supposed to be kept at home too. Not to your mama, not to your female friends, not to nobody, not even male friends. If you have an issue with your husband, you're supposed to take it up with him and him only.
Exactly. I don't know why women be running their mouth to their friends about drama. And then, you know, these women come back doing what you said, and then they're going to come back, oh, you know, me and your husband is just alike. Like, you know, they trying to be all best friends, and oh, girl, I'm the same way. And I'm like, yeah, see, when you start talking like that, I know you're trying to get with him, and I promise you, I'm gonna do you a favor. She just don't know it. She out the door, like, come on.
Or sister, when they talking around your husband and they hand reach out and they be like, you're so funny. You know?
This actually happened.
Same thing,
Miss O. Like this happened to me. We weren't married yet, and it was weird. It was very weird, mostly because her boyfriend was right there, and she was he and doing all that stuff to him right in front of me and her boyfriend. I'm like, first of all, is your boyfriend gonna do something right now? Because that's your girl, and I'm just trying to see how long she gonna do this for. I let her do it because I was not insecure in that way with that. Not saying that, you know, she could have tried something with him, but I was closely with him and I'm closely watching you. So I'm gonna see how far you think you're going. But from that day, I was like, yeah, no. I'm gonna have to watch her. And the crazy thing is he worked with the damn girl. So I was like, I couldn't get rid of her. So that's why I had to closely watch her. I became friends with her because I have to watch you. Like, you so comfortable to do this is weird to me. Like, you have to have some type of respect. But that girl ended up not being friends with us no more anyway. So over nothing. I think she just, I don't know. She just whatever. She
was waiting around for James to slip. That's it.
She probably was, or waiting for us to break up. You never know.
I was already waiting on. I was already ready.
Let me tell you something about women like that. It's women that's been side chicks to married men for anywhere between 10 to 15, 20 years. They will wait. for
Yeah,
you
they
to
will.
mess up. They will wait for that argument. They will wait for anything for that man to be like, forget it, and they leave on out. And next thing you know, they standing there with a big old sign like, "Hey, welcome home." You know what I'm saying? They will wait. They wait. They have that long game. But my thing is this: you will have that long game for another man, another woman's husband, but you won't have that long game for your own man.
It's a thrill. I think it's a thrill. So what they're trying to do is see, all right, she looks good. So if I take her man, that means I look better than her. And then because some of them they'll get with that, they'll get with that man, and then after they had him for a little while, all right, I'm ready for the next thrill. Let me go get somebody else, man. Like some of these people out here.
Yeah. Trey said, what? That's not true. That's what men do. Trey, these women are the new men. Have you noticed? They have, y'all don't know. You get with a female, she would tell you that she have the smallest body count. Yeah. You call yourself walking. How many times, I know a lot of men in here understand me on this one, James too. How many homeboys that y'all have that got with a girl, he thought she was everything, but you knew that all you probably and all your homeboys didn't hit it.
Yeah, I remember this.
They love it because they get passed around like Skittles. These guys know, yes, Skittles. These guys know that all they boys done hit it, and they gonna hit it too. They know everybody. Men speak, talk just like women. All the men be like, "Oh, you had her, I had her too, man. High five." That's how they do. I'm a tomboy. I've been around guys to know what I'm talking about. I've seen that. Women are orbiters just like men are.
And Trey, speaking from personal experience, my mother was like that, is like that. My little sister's father was married, still married. My little sister is 30-something years now. My mom has this guy's name tattooed on her. So it happens.
Yep. I know people are saying that they will wait. It's weird as hell. I'm like, go with your own man and go and take your 10 years, 15 years and work with this man. But no, they rather have, it's like less drama for them because that man go home and that person has their space.
Yep. She know all about their family. She know all about their family.
Yep.
And let me I'm like, I don't want to say it, but I'm like, Mom, I don't care about that.
And you know what? And it's the convenience for these women because they like, shoot, I ain't got to deal with his attitude. Let her deal with it. I want the good part when he want to come here and toss me over the balcony. She can deal with the headache. That's how they do. And a lot of men think that that's their MO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. So is it the majority or the minority of women that do that? The orbiting?
It's a majority.
Now.
Well, now, yeah, because a lot of women are side chicks, or there's a lot of women that's not in a marriage, right? And they're not in relationships. But I'll let you know right now, these women that are not married or relationship, they have a man that they having sex with. They're not just out here just being celibate, and they're not virgins. They are having sex. Okay. And they having sex. Over here. So no, today is majority. And they could probably have a few of those guys. It's not just one. They have many.
They be juggling them around like they in a circus. I know one female, she was juggling 15 dudes at once. I said, how in the hell? Look, y'all. I'm like, what do you call them? And a lot of men don't know this too. They have, say you dating this female, whatever, whatnot. And she have all kinds of names there. You don't know if she got male orbiters all on her phone because she putting them under female names. She gave them all kinds of cute little got some emojis on there. You don't know what you dealing with.
Seems exhausting. Who has time for that?
It's a lot of them do it. You know what they do it for? One they got for light, one they got for light bill, one they got for gas bill, rent, the dinner dates. You name it, they got it.
The mechanic, the person that work on the house.
And they may not listen. It'd be like 10 of them. They may not sleep with all 10, but I tell you, about 5 of them, they're gonna let it. It's look, a month got about 30, 31 days. About 5 of them was in there within them time frames. Not knowing who the daddy is. I'm telling you, that's how it goes.
So here's another good one that I found out that I heard and I seen with my own eyes. Say for instance, you got this girl, right? You have this female, and she is the side chick, and you got a wife. You go over there, you thinking she all for you, but the kids, her kids, which isn't your kids, say Uncle such and such was here. Is there's so many uncles come through the house? You know, a lot of these women tell their kids that you could call them uncle this, uncle that. So that way, when the guy, whoever they messing with, won't think of any other man, because you know kids talk. They'll say, Uncle such and such was here, Uncle this and that third. You would actually, a man actually think that that's actually a relative when that's actually a man she's sleeping with.
And that's weird because why? Wow, it's like if a man falls for that, it's weird to me. You should know her family. All right, you don't know this one, so something should be all right then and there. Where he come from?
That man ain't no family picture.
Right, like you ain't asked her, okay, uncle from what side? So that she.
Let me see all your family. Right? So,
yeah, call her mom and her dad and confirm. Like, don't sit here and fall for that.
Like, oh yeah, I was just talking to Uncle Ricky, and he was. And mom like, I don't know no Uncle Ricky.
Exactly. Ask her mother and her father. They'll know.
Trey, I get that that info from what I seen, what I know. I've been around women, and I've been around more men than women in my lifetime. I done seen the tricks of all tricks do a whole bunch of things. You believe me, all we have to do is sit back and watch people, and you be like, damn, like really, like say for instance, when I was working in hospitals and nursing homes, the women up in there, they talking reckless to their husbands. I mean, they talking reckless, but they nice to that work husband. They nice to the man that's running the place. They off somewhere and everything else. The husband can come there, bring them flowers. They act like they don't even want the flowers. They treat their husband like crap, but they will all Google, snack and snuggle with the man at her job. Women are scantless. Stop thinking that all women is all, sugar and spice and everything nice. They worse than men.
You know what?
So
I wish
men,
we have our expert within BMU to confirm that for you, because he has shared a lot of story last year and year before at his job, how the married women like to gossip and talk about all the shenanigans. That's what it's on me with thinking that way. I used to work in corporate America, and I see that a lot. But way BMU described it was even worse. And they are married, and they're sleeping with their co-workers. Now, New York City, don't ask. If it's not the banking, it's the NYPD. If it's not the NYPD, it's the MTA. If it's not the MTA, it's the law department.
Two
I'm
lunches,
letting you know.
with some Lunchables with two Lunchables.
No,
Lost in translation.
no, it's not two Lunchables. Lost in translation is talking about this. She is actually cooking a whole meal for that man. Instead of fixing you a lunch, she will give you the cold cuts. She'll give you the lunch.
That is true. That is true.
But she will make sure this man got some linguine, some stuff. She making salmon, crab legs, all kinds of stuff that for that.
That's even worse. They will bring the food. They'll bring the dessert. They'll go to his desk. Oh, here what I bring for you. Everybody's watching. Everybody don't say a word.
That's crazy.
He said there's no evidence of such. Trey, believe me, I have family members that did it. I know women that did it. They husbands did it. Was married women do this too. They will be the side chick for another married husband, and they is married.
I wonder how they will document that. They won't be honest. No one be honest.
Trey have been in the military, and he's a police officer. He haven't seen corporate America on like there used to be a joke. She sucked her way to a promotion. You ever heard of that term?
I heard a knee pass, but yeah, it's something similar.
Trey don't know about that part in corporate America.
So like Trey though, but for real. The show Maury, okay, that's a prime example of all these women who don't know the dad. So Miss O is from a whole nother place than me. Everybody here, all of us, it's four of us, right? All of us are from different places, and it's the same damn story everywhere. You said women in the military, but it's the same story in most, like most places. I'm only really talking about Black, but you know, we want to talk about all races, but in the United States is what I'm really referring to, in the Black community. I hear this, I see the story, I hear the story everywhere. Like it's like, okay, if it wasn't so common and I didn't see too many people talking about it, then I would never say majority. But like honestly, it's majority because everybody is like, where he come from, it's the same damn thing everywhere. It is. And it's weird because it's like, dang, so it's not just where you from. It's just, is it the nature of the mindset of a lady who maybe doesn't really want a marriage? She's just in it for the thrill. Like, what's making women be like this? Because in my opinion, I seen my mom divorce my dad, but I ain't say I want to be like that. Right. You know, divorcing him for no reason. You know, there's a reason, but not a reason for divorce, you know? Okay, everybody don't have the same mindset, but I'm trying to figure out why. Because why do you want to be out here being a damn baby mother to not one, but two, then three, and you never was married to them? You know what I'm saying? You just was out there. Why do you want to continue that life? And I'm like, I'm good. I don't want that. So I'm trying to figure out why women want that.
Right. And then, sis, a lot of these baby mamas, and that's what I'm going to call them, baby mamas, they have these kids for these men. They say, oh, my baby daddy ain't ish, this, that, and the third. But they the same ones when the quote unquote baby, I hate that term, quote unquote baby daddy, when he move on, get married, whatever, they want to give him a hard time. Because they feel as if I gave you this baby, you belong to me, this, that, and the third, and they ruin a man's life. And it's sad that a lot of women do this. They do that as well. They have a child for a man. Say, for instance, they know this man is married. They know this man is in a relationship. They plan them babies some of the time. We know when we ovulating. I'm just gonna be honest. They got the things to show that we ovulating, but we as women, we ovulate a certain time every year. We know when we get pregnant, especially we can see how the pattern is with our children. Those women aren't they not slick on that one. They'll hurry up and get pregnant by a married man. They'll use that as leverage, and they'll cause this man, although it's this man's fault that this happened, but at the same time, she gonna make sure she making this man's life a living hell, and she want to tell it to the rooftops, and to destroy this man's wife. And you know what? Although I'm against the cheating, I give kudos to a lot of women that don't fall for certain things. Some women be like, "Oh, you cheat on me, you had a baby, F it," and they out the door. But some women don't do that, because guess what happens? The ones that stay there, the women, these side chicks, don't think that this wife gonna be, by her husband's side. Oh, you getting a paternity test, boo-boo. Come to find out, that ain't even her husband's baby. It's a lot of women, and look, James, no, I'm not lying. It's a lot of women left their husband because a female falsely accused a husband of giving them a baby. They had a case in Detroit. This man, all praises, his wife didn't leave him. He was telling his wife he know this woman from jump. She gave his name, put him on child support, and every damn thing. I remember that story, yeah, facts. And coming to find out, what if his wife left him, and she would have had egg on her face because she believed the lie.
That's true.
All people. Yeah. So it's evident, and that was on the news, and that was right here where I'm at. Yes, his fault, but at the same time, these women, something else too. I'm like this. Men should have Johnson control. I can't say the other thing. Women need to they need to bring back chastity belt. They need to bring back chastity.
I remember that case you were talking about, Mrs. Oka. There are two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them never met the woman at all.
Right.
And they were both put their name on the birth certificate that they are the father. When they did a DNA test, it came back 0.00, but then they were not the father.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of them confessed that she had to put somebody's name just for her to get welfare.
Right.
The other one, I don't know how she got his name, but she just used it for the sake of getting the benefit.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they do, because they're forced to put a name down to get benefits. So they be like, I remember such and such. He was nice to me. He walked me across the street. As long as they know, they know where you stay at. They putting you down, and they don't even have to have no kind of proof of the father.
Nothing. It's so like when I was signing the birth certificates for all 3 of my kids, it was just like, fill it out. The father doesn't have to be here. You can sign for him. And I'm like, luckily I was married, but I was like, that's how they doing it. Just put whatever you want, but no proof. The man is not nowhere near me. I could just give you a piece of paper and I could sign for him. Like, that's dangerous. But
it depends on the state too as well, kind of how some states you gotta have ID and stuff like that. So some states are better than others. But
the ID don't.
they actually gotta
be there. Okay.
Yeah,
Like Michigan,
okay.
Yeah, like how Michigan is set up, a woman can go say, like that happened here. Go say that this man is the father of my baby or whatever, whatnot. They'll hurry up and slap child support on them, this, and that, and the third. If the man get say for instance, the friend of the court, that's what's here in Michigan, send you a paper stating that you owe paternity for a child. That man did not get that paper. If he didn't go to court, he is father by default.
Yep. This a guy.
So there is no way he can even get out of that, because it's a man that's in jail that was paying for child support that wasn't his child here in Michigan, and he went to jail for that, and they found he had a DNA test, found that that kid wasn't his. Guess what the court said? Somebody gonna pay for this child. You're the father. And they would not reverse that. That's why it's important when you having these babies to get a DNA test before you sign those birth certificates, because it's states like Michigan that you cannot reverse that. Once they have you down as a father, you are a father either by default or you the father because you signed that birth certificate unknowingly, not knowing that this woman was a thought.
Yeah.
Well, don't have no kids in Michigan. Yeah. That's crazy.
I remember the story. It was a guy that was wearing glasses, black dudes. I remember he went there. He was fighting. He was trying to go there. He was like, "Yo, it's not my child. I never received any mail. He was in jail when the court case was going on. So he's like, hey, I didn't receive anything. I was in jail when this happened.
Yep.
And they was trying to make him father by default.
Yep. That's what happens. You father by default. So you have to get you, and this not the only state. I think is I think the last time I checked, I'm gonna look it up again, but it's about like 30 states here that have father by default.
30 states.
You really need to look into it. You really
Y'all just don't have no sex men. Like if you ain't married to listen. Ooh, that's
why I told my sons, I'm like, look, y'all need to get you have children, get DNA tests, but I was fortunate. I was there with all my grandkids when they was born. So I did the old grandma's way. We there, we checking that baby, see if they got the hands, the feet, the birthmarks. We checking all. That's what I did with all my grandbabies. My grandbabies are mine, and guess what? They look like me too, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, see, they got the 6 fingers. They got. Gotta have the extra finger.
That's terrible.
Right.
All right. So we are going to move on to the next question, and then we'll have a video. The next question was referring to this one, to number 12, or any situation where you witness a young man being disrespected. What advice would you give to that young man?
I would say number one, it depends on the level of disrespect, right? Because there's levels of it, right? But for the most part, for a general answer, I would tell him, man, hey, you're gonna go through things in life, and you got to make sure you can handle that situation so you can be there for your family. So a lot of times we, as men, we let our pride and ego get the best of us sometimes, and that can put us in a situation where you locked up, you in jail, right? So say if earlier when we talked about me being mad and I was on the phone, imagine I was in front of that person, and then now we get to find I slam him on top of his head or something like that, and he dies. Now my family is going to be without me even though I was probably right for trying to fight the guy. You know what I'm saying? But it still wouldn't matter, hindsight looking at it, because my family would have been without me. So now my wife has to raise 4 boys by herself. And now
we got to visit you in jail.
Yeah. And then imagine what if she doesn't have the finances to visit me like that? know what I'm saying? Because she's trying to keep the household together because she was used to us, taking care of the household with my finances, and now it's just her. You know what I mean? So that's why I would tell a young man, hey, you gotta the scriptures say be harmless, be smart like a no, it says be wise like a serpent and harmless as a dove.
Yep.
Okay.
You do everything, you never tell the right hand what the left hand doing or whatever, however it go. You never do.
Yeah, so that's why we got to make sure. And a lot of us, we take like the emotion out of it, especially men now these days, because since these men are being raised with their mom, they have a lot of emotion coming with them. So sometimes you have to take a lot of that emotion out and think, because if you make quick decisions, because emotional women, they're gonna the over emotional woman, I should say, is gonna make you. They're gonna make you try to make fast decisions, quick decisions, because that's how they make decisions in their life, and that's why most of the time they like be so chaotic, because they feel like every decision got to be quick. All right, this going on, I got to make a quick decision right now. No, sometimes you got to sit, think about it, and look at the best options. You know what I mean? That can help you in that situation. So.
Right. So the similar situation to what? I missed that part.
Oh, like from we discussed in question 12, or any scenario where they're being disrespected.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just always like to promote being calm, because like I told you, I could go from a 0 to 100, and that's not a safe way to do anything. So just being calm, and if you feel like you're going to get to that point where you want to destroy somebody, you got to walk away, unless your life is at threat. Like if someone's literally trying to off you, then you do what you got to do. But if it ain't that, just walk away. It's not even that deep. So just to always, how to control your emotions, how to control your anger, all this stuff is in the mind. So always try to promote mental health, learn about mental health and the phases of that. And that's it. Just learn how to control your mind and be at peace.
Absolutely. Being stoic.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And avoiding things that or situations, scenarios, and substances that cause imbalance.
That too, yeah. Yeah, you got to prevent some stuff, you could cause on yourself. Like, why'd you do that?
Exactly.
And now you upset that now there's a situation. Like, yeah, control your triggers. Exactly. So I was saying earlier, I have triggers, and guess what? I ain't trying to tap near a trigger. I try to control my mind too. Like, things are not going to be perfect. So it's all in the mind. I'm telling you, just learn how to control that and you be good.
Yep. Can't be reckless with it. That's for sure.
Let's see our comments. Know your triggers, control your triggers.
Oh yeah, knowing your triggers, that's first. Because you learn as you get older, but knowing your triggers, you got to know every single one of them, because you don't never want a situation to pop off and you ain't never been through it, and it's like you just go, you made a crazy decision and now your whole life has changed. So knowing is like very important, and then controlling them. Because I feel like triggers, to me, I feel like you can have a trigger, but I don't think you get rid of triggers. I don't think you can eliminate them. They're going to be there the rest of your life. That's how I'm thinking of it, because I know how to control some of my stuff. It's still there though. Maybe for him, maybe a little different. Maybe he don't take things so seriously, but at least there's one trigger that I think, you probably just can't get rid of. It is what it is. You just know not to just get overly emotional about it, and you keep it moving.
Yep. And then triggers come from trauma. If you had past traumas on certain things, then them triggers is like, okay, I know how, I had a bad experience with that trauma. And then, you see similarities of that trauma. And that's when you have them triggers kick in. It's the same like if a person had a SA situation and they call themselves, and I'm making this because some men probably ran across women like this. Say for instance, they ran across a SA situation and they get with you, and something that you did just triggered them to where they acting crazy and stuff. So it's actually a mental thing, and you really have to work on that. But if you don't know your triggers, you won't know how to control it. You really have to know. You have to sit back and actually, write down some things that you don't like, and what I'm saying, what you would tolerate and stuff, and that way you know what your triggers are. Because say for instance, we all have people that will set our trigger off. We can't even be around them. I know I had a few of them. It's like you just hurt my nerves. I'm like, okay, I have to leave you alone. It's so many people that I know that I had to cut off completely just to have my state of mind. I had to have sanity because I had to cut them off. And people hit them triggers and stuff. Next thing you know, you doing and saying some stuff that you actually, you're out of character with that because you don't know how to deal with it. And people looking at you like you're mean, but they don't understand what you went through, and they won't understand what you went through. You just have to learn how to maneuver around that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. We don't know what we went through, like everybody's story. We would never know. So it's kind of dangerous just to be out there trying to just ruin people's lives. And it's a lot to this topic, but yeah, just being more peaceful and controlling your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do we have? Hey, Trey Ferg. Black people go years without knowing their triggers or undiagnosed mental issues. Sad outcomes. True. I'm definitely in that situation.
Yep. Back on.
I didn't realize in my marriage. I didn't realize because I had some SA issues in my youth, and I didn't realize that's my marriage. How much it affected me, and it comes from nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere, and I'm sure everyone responds differently.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, I kind of, I guess, isolated myself in order to, I guess just rein it. I mean, pull it back in, get control, because it feels like everything's spinning out of control. You get awash with emotion and certain things like smells and sounds. Anything can bring back those traumatic experiences.
Yeah, it's kind of like the military people and like PTSD type of stuff.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that PTSD is something else.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my dears, we will play a video next.
Okay.
An excuse
of our hormonal fluctuations and what that can cause in us emotionally. I like to give this example. If a woman works in a corporate setting and has to go to work and is around men and women in an office environment, she does not go in on her menstrual cycle and show up the way that she would in her marriage behind closed doors at her job. She's going through perimenopause, menopause on her cycle. She sucks it up and she goes to work. And she doesn't go around the office telling everybody and being, pardon my language, bitchy, like, sorry, hormonal. No, she can be in control of it. It's a choice. It's a choice.
Do women use their...
That's a fact.
Exactly.
And that's what happened every time we on our menstrual. The first thing the guys be like, everybody be like, what's wrong with your wife, man? Oh, she on, it's that monthly, man. It's that time of the month. And not knowing that, we can control that. You know what I'm saying? We actually can control that.
Fasting.
Yes. Yeah, so what we do, we just blame our bad behavior on that one incident. You know, we have our, our hormones do what they do. We do be cranky, this, that, and the third, but it's a time and a place for that. So we really have to find some kind of relief, whatever, whatnot. But don't be a ass to your husband. That's not right.
That's one thing I never got, like, and I never would accept it. Like for no woman I ever dated, I was like, I don't care if you're on your side. You better act like you got some damn sense. Like I ain't gotta be acting up, because I think a lot of times men give women out to disrespect them, right? Because if you give somebody a chance to be able to disrespect you because you gave them an excuse for it, they're gonna accept it sometimes, right? Say if you pissed them off or you did something not knowing it, or you did something knowing it, they're gonna, all right, cool. When I get on my cycle, I'm finna fuck his ass up. So they gonna be waiting on it. They might lie and say they own it just to get off on you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with that.
Mm-hmm. Like it's gonna be some people. I'm sorry, so there's gonna be some women. Say for instance, after we have a baby, that's a different story. Because we just be out of whack and stuff, but we still have to control the emotions. That's our emotions. That's the only time I can see that. But when we on our menstrual cycle, come on now, ladies, be real. And then on top of it, also women, y'all gonna hate me for this, but I'm not talking about the sisters on the panel. It's a lot of women use that as leverage not to have sex with their husbands either.
Yep.
I've heard several times that women said they had a double, they just got on and they went right back on. Say, for instance, they 3 days, all of a sudden they 7 days. That's 7 days, 14 days.
Oh, wow.
I was extended. Whoa.
That's to a whole nother level. So men need to learn about cycles then.
Yes.
We got to have our own calendar and shit. We got to
y'all have to learn more about that, because that's great. Because most men don't know. So if they hear their lady saying that, they go, oh wow, they might ask, are you okay? But they gonna believe it. But that's irregular as hell.
Right.
Whoa.
But that's
why a lot of them men be wanting to run the red lights. They be knowing the women be lying. It's like, oh, you
So like with the hormones, I wouldn't say women are lying about the effects of hormones, because the effects are exactly what it is. You can't really stop it, but controlling it, meaning like if I'm in pain, for the hour, that don't mean I just curse you out. Like I'm just gonna be in pain and I'm gonna still talk to you nice. Like me being in pain shouldn't make me be disrespectful to nobody. Right. And that's what women are not doing. They're letting the uncomfortable part of being on a cycle just I'm gonna just be and act however I want because you should give me an excuse because I'm in pain. Like, come on, like that sounds ridiculous.
Think about this.
Have that issues with my cycle.
Yeah, imagine if a man came home from work, he got hurt at work, he had back pain or something like that, and he came home and started acting an ass to his wife. Like people won't be okay with that because back pain can last for a week or so. You know what I'm saying? So imagine it every day he's, oh, I got back pain, so that's the reason why I'm treating you like crap.
I'm smacking you in the face, like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't drunk. Maybe alcohol could do that, but your ass is sober. So that pain, you know what I'm saying? You could pop a pill. You could take some herbs if you're not into pills. You could do a lot. And if you need some space, then say, hey, I'm not feeling, still be respectful, but I'm not feeling so good right now. You know, I want to lay down, even if you probably won't go to sleep. You just want to sit in silence. There's ways. So luckily I never really was like that. So when I got with him, he's seen a whole nother side of women, which was me not being an asshole. I was literally the same. And I actually, was more like just extra nice too, because I'm trying to get rid of this pain myself. So what's gonna make me feel good? I'm happy. I need to be happy. Help me. So I'm looking at it in a different way. Now that I have kids though, it's different. I don't even have pain anymore now since I've had kids, but I'm different in the sense of, I don't know what happened when you have children, everything changes, like your mindset, your hormones. So I just say men, you know, if you have a lady that is trying to be respectful, just have patience, because we do actually go through things. Don't just put it under the rug and be like, get over it. We are women and we do have emotions and hormones. So my suggestion is to help her with that. Don't just say get over it and then you know she don't know how. You know, you help her, and that's however that works. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah, but if it's I'm agree with sis 100% on that one. But you know, the ones that's manipulative, you already know what's up with them. Those the ones you be like, okay, don't. That's disrespectful. You know, you know that your wife is going through issues and stuff like that. And I would say that it's a lot of husbands that are very understanding on that one. Say you had surgeries, this, that, and the third. Those are the ones, women, ladies that's married. You have a husband that's actually looking out for your well-being, that's actually understanding. That's the way to go. Now, if you got yourself a ninja, that's a different ball game, because you know that's a different ball game. They don't give a damn if your ass hurting. You just had a baby. They still want to do whatever. But I do want to say this.
Yeah, Trey is being very vocal in the comments.
I know. I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Because he
said black. We say black towels.
Yeah, black towels. But another thing too, when it comes to say for instance, he made me lose my thought already. I'm trying to think when it comes to the dang, Trey. Oh my God, no, you didn't.
I know. I'm visual.
Oh, he just knocked me off. I was trying to think it had something to do with the sex when it comes to the sex part, and I'm trying to think
that mattress protector.
The mattress. Oh God, I'm
mattress protector.
I'm done. But yeah, ladies, don't deprive your husband of that. Oh, this is what I want to say. For all you ladies out there that say, I don't feel like it, I got a headache. That don't work. That don't work. Because hey, you could just lay down. You could just lay down, take an aspirin or something. Take a Tylenol, some Advil, something stronger. So take a drink or something. Let him go on and have his fun. If you don't feel good, believe me, your husband will understand. He'll let you starfish that night. You know, so I'm just being honest. If you're not feeling good, your husband will understand. He will let you starfish that night. That's the only time he'll let you starfish, because you don't feel good. Don't be like clink clink and don't want to do anything. No, come on, y'all. Not for a headache. Now, if you own this and the third, that's a different story. I don't believe in running red lights myself. No, not. We ain't.
You never know. It might change you make your headache go away.
It does. They don't know. I was like, shoot, don't y'all? I used to tell some women all the time. They was like, I don't want to do nothing with that. N-word, this, that, third. I told my head a headache. It's not the headache. It's the fact that either I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Either she didn't got knocked off by somebody else. She don't want you to see that that she don't feel the same. Or it could be she just don't want to be bothered with you. But we as women, we have a high sex drive. Y'all just don't know. We do have a high sex drive. Now, say for instance, if us as women that had children, it changes everything as far as our hormones. But when it comes to a lot of these women that you could tell they freaks, they have 5, 6, 10 kids, and they want to tell you, oh, I want to wait to marriage and I'm celibate. And just had somebody the other night. Come on, y'all. Y'all women, we have sex with who we want to have sex with. Stop being stingy when it comes to your husband. If you pick your legs to a complete stranger that you found on Tinder and everything else, you shouldn't have a problem opening up them legs to your husband. It belongs to him. There's no such thing as my body, my choice when you're married.
Exactly. That's crazy. It's just like some of this stuff to me is like basic. Like when you get married, it's like you're married. Didn't you dream of this? You wanted that boyfriend and you was in love and ooh, you know, I don't want nobody else to have him type of mind. And now you got him and it just goes out the window. Like, how does this make sense? That's why I think some people definitely need to live life, and I'm saying out of the parents' home, to see, like, you got to learn yourself. It don't take long to learn yourself. It could take you a year to learn yourself. So you out the house 18, you about 19, 20, to understand what type of life you want, what type of man you desire, the things that, you know, their triggers, you know, the things that you need to work on. You know, that's if you have to work on some stuff. And then when you're like 20, 21, then you know you need to start settling down. And you need to, you know, understand that when you're married, it's all about you and him, not just you. And that's just how it is. If you can't handle it, then don't get married and don't have no kids while you can't handle it. Because with kids come a husband. I don't know no other way, but
right.
Absolutely. Well, you all, thank you all so much for joining us. It has been an honor.
Yay. I'm so happy.
Wow. I am
right here. I love them. These
inspired by you all.
love the questions and the videos. It was good.
Dope. It was dope.
We didn't get through them all. It's going to be part 3.
It might be a part 3, y'all. We don't go into something else because there's been some other stuff been going on lately. I'm looking like, oh, I don't know.
We have one more video if you want to play that. Just
one more. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
You still not giving me an answer.
I just gave you the answer.
Nah,
Why do women get so defensive when they're called out on
because
something?
You don't want to be honest. You don't want to deal with the truth. You don't want to change.
We
what?
just don't want to deal with it.
Exactly. Why? Why is that an issue?
Because we kind of want to do what we want to do, and we don't see. You guys, men complain about things that are just sometimes just why. Why are you upset about it? You do. And I feel
because
like
there's something wrong.
For me.
And the only way to communicate and fix things is to address it.
I don't like to be told
and deal with it and fix it.
I don't like to be told that I'm wrong. I don't like to be told
that's established.
when I'm wrong.
That's established.
I get agitated when I find out that I'm wrong about something. Okay? I get agitated. And that's why I guess I get defensive, because I just want to do what I want to do. And no, it's not always right, but I just want to do what I want to do. And when you call me out, it makes me defensive because I don't even understand why you would be calling me out. It's not that serious.
That is next level immaturity.
No accountability.
Wow.
She don't want him to tell her anything. Now, man, I think they're married. I believe they're a married couple.
Really?
Yeah, she
I
don't
want strangers.
She don't want him to tell her.
Do they have kids?
He can't critique her. It's her way or the highway. That's the type of woman a lot of men are dealing with as wives. That's the type of wife they have. That is crazy. You heard her. You heard what she said. I don't want to hear none you say what I did. What I did was right. Anything I say goes. So in other words, she gonna always be that woman that buck up to her husband, say the husband want to do this, he want to do A, you want to do B, C, and D. And the way he want to go is more logical than you, because you thinking about short term, he's actually thinking about long term. That don't work. That's why God made it. The Most High said, him, Christ, husband, wife, children. It goes down that line. We can suggest, and I will say a lot of women, females will say, oh, wives are slaves, this and that, third. We're not slaves. We are smart about it, because for one, we know how we got our husband and we want to keep him. We don't want it to be where, he feel, he regret marrying us because we're not on his program. When he married us, he thought that we was going to be on his program. And if we was going to be on his program, he had some kind of inkling that we would be able to follow him. That's why we supposed to do the work. And we supposed to at least see where our husband is going, what direction he's going to. I'm not saying for a lot of these women to marry guys because, he he want to marry me, this and third. You must know his plan. You must know his vision. You must know that this man, he's working. Never get with a man that don't have his own place. I'm being honest. He have a job, a place. If he don't have his job, if he don't have a place, at least he's working on getting himself a place. He's working on, doing whatever he have to do. You can't just move in with a guy and, say, oh, this is my husband, and y'all live in his mama's basement. Now that's crazy. You supposed to make sure that he have all his ducks in a row before you even
he's living in your place.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So these women, and then we can't lead with our husband. Let him lead. We can suggest things, and best believe our husbands will come to us, because I know my husband do it, and I know probably James and a lot of other men do it that's married. If they have an idea, they'll roll with it a few times, roll it over a few times in their head to, they think about scenarios, because that's what they do. And then they'll come back if they feel as if, I want to run this by my wife to see what she say, whatever, whatnot. At least he's running it by you. He's not saying, oh, this is what we gonna do and that's it, damn it. You know what I'm saying? He's running it by you. He want to hear a suggestion, whatever, whatnot. Just sit there, listen, even if it sounds like it's outlandish, off the wall, just listen to him. You know what I'm saying? And then be like, okay. And then later on down the line, you have your pillow talk, and you be like, well, baby, I was thinking, maybe if you do it like this way or that way, that'll actually help him. People like, oh, okay, I wasn't thinking about that, because he's coming to you because he wants that input and he want to know what you think about it, not for him to come to you and tell you something and you just like, oh, N-word, this, that, third, that ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna be this, that, and the third, and all this other stuff. And that's a stupid idea. They not looking for that.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, man, this video, men, we have to do a better job at protecting our wives, right? So this video shouldn't even much got out, because number one, you embarrassing your wife, and then number two, you embarrassing yourself, because you showing your inability to lead her. You know what I mean? So that video shouldn't even much got out at all. You know what I'm saying? So some things are more important than the likes and the comments and the views and stuff like that, right? So we have to protect our image as men, and we have to protect our image as who we are wifing up to as well, because another woman that's not a wife is going to look at her, well, hey, I can be a wife too because she's a wife. You know what I mean? Even though that relationship might be going down the gutter, what we seeing right now, but we have to do a better job of that, because she sounds like a kid. Like, hey, I want my way. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have my way. I want a lollipop.
Tantrum and all.
Right.
So in us trying to get our image back, that's why a lot of men made these YouTube spaces, right? To try to correct a lot of our images, our image that's been put out there. This is a blow to our image.
Yeah. Like, I think that women should be more like honest, because she was literally telling him how she was feeling. I don't like to be told wrong because I don't like it. It makes me feel like she was really telling him that's her thoughts. Like, that needs to come out, because it's immature. If you have a husband that is mature, it can help get you on his level. So tell him what you feel, and if it's wrong, let him help correct you, so you don't have to be like that. Because that sounds like a damn most annoying life to just be walking around like that. Mm-hmm. I always like to be walking around more happy. I don't, just being all upset is not good. And the fact that you want to walk around like that is weird. And some people say, oh, that's what they're used to. They're used to toxic. Okay, you could be used to a whole lot of stuff. Like, I'm used to eating eggs, but I'm gonna try to get them orange ones though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still gotta see benefits of things. Like, you don't gotta keep consistently having this weird life. But I don't know. I thought the video was good. I think I don't know if they're being serious though. I think she's speaking more like today's women that are married, that have that voice, the happy life, happy wife type of approach. She wants to speak to the audience. The thing is, he's not really checking her in the video. So if he checked her, like, she came off the wall and he was like, correcting her and stuff right on camera, that would be a lesson, because she's speaking to most women and he's speaking to how it should be as a leader. Then yes, I would think that would be productive. But that video was like, nah. It just ended like that. Like, no.
Oh, said she a Ford Focus thinking she's a Maybach. I'm done. I'm done. Oh, I'm done. I had fun, y'all, tonight. I really did. I really did.
Yes, sure.
Final thoughts. I will say, ladies and gentlemen, the bravest thing you can do is to look in the mirror. It's worth it. And that's it. Thank you.
My final thought, I'm going to give y'all the honors to do the last final thoughts, but my final thought is this. Sisters, do better. I'm not speaking for the men. I let the men do it. Once again, when it comes down to our husbands, we really need to know. Actually, the only way you're going to know if you're disrespecting your husband, you sit down, you have a talk with your husband. He will tell you what he finds disrespectful as far as your actions, everything else, because every man is different. Some men like to be, talked to a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because it turn them on or some crap. But you actually need to sit down with your husband and talk to him and see what things that his likes and his dislikes. You have to learn, and sometimes, us women, we're so busy with the home, with the children, this, that, and the third, and we really don't pay attention to our husbands the way we need to. We really supposed to study our husbands, because best believe our husbands study us. So we really need to, because they can know a man, your husband really knows when you're, out of the spirit, when he come in and you be like, what's wrong, baby? He'd be like, what's wrong, baby? You be like, nothing, but he can see it. He can see it. If they can read us, we have to learn to, to sit back, focus, and read our husband, because I could tell when my husband having a bad day, because I study him. I knew him for 28 years, but we've been married for 11 years. So I know when something is wrong with him. Just sit back, study him, whatever, and you see him, you be like, hi, baby, how you doing? Show some kind of concern. You just touch him, be like, you okay, baby, this, that, and the third, and he be like, give me a minute, and then he'll come to you and he'll speak to you. Don't be like, oh, so you mad at me? You mad at me? What's wrong with you? This, that, and the third. Chest bumping this man. This man could be doing something else. Believe me, give him the space. Give him the time. He will come up to you and he will say what's wrong with him. That's my final thoughts on that one.
Go ahead.
Two are too cute.
So my final thoughts is, man, men, we got to step it up a little bit. So we got to study, show ourselves approved, right? So gain knowledge as much as you can. Try to do as much things without having to pay somebody to do it. So if you make mistakes, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Get your neck out there, put your neck out there. You might get your head cut off a few times, but it'll grow back. You'll be all right.
Like a snake.
I was thinking a reptile.
Right. Like
but no, man, we gotta we gotta take chances in this life. Listen to older people. Go on YouTube. It's older people talking. Listen to the mistakes that they wish they would have made. That's one thing I did when I was younger. And I listened to this older couple, and one thing he said is he wish he would have invested more. So that's when I heard that in my early 20s, I started doing that, right? So we have to listen to the older people and listen to their mistakes, and we have to try to bring solutions and try to just be the best person for your family and be out there, right? And ladies, try to find the best man that you can and appreciate who you got, right? Because you never know how good that person is until they gone. You know what I mean? So
that's true. I'm trying to see how to come back after everyone. So in today's time, a lot of us are not living as long. Some people's life is ending in their 50s. I think the average lifespan today is 77. It had went up, but we could look it up. It's like it's 60 now, but it's very low. Okay, so once we keep wasting time, it's just like how much time you got. Like the best life that you are desiring, go and get it. don't be afraid, and don't just be so like closed mouth. I'm always like, if you speak and you ask for what you want, you can get it, you know. You don't have to be shy or feeling like, oh, someone's gonna judge you or whatever. Just kind of seek knowledge, learn how to research, because that's the time and age that we're in. And you know, kind of get everything you desire without hurting people in the process, you know. Get close with your family, the ones that you actually that care about you and you care about them, and just make, you know, your life the best, because we ain't got that much time on this earth. I'm just saying. So, you know, tomorrow is never promised. Next year's never promised. 10 years ain't promised. So just try to do the best you can. And that's in everything. It's not just relationship.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Just thank y'all for coming to
gracing us
tonight. I appreciate it. I was anticipating this. I was like, oh, my sister gonna come, my brother gonna come. It's gonna be good. Y'all see, I didn't put it out there that y'all was gonna be on here because it was supposed to be a surprise. So it's gonna be so it was a good surprise, and I know everybody was like, they were surprised to see you guys on here. So we really appreciate that y'all came out to rock with us. And maybe sometime down the line, y'all rock with us again, but not as long. Because looks tired.
Oh, I've been on panels not too long. I say about a year or so, and I used to do them long panels, and then it was cool. But I do have like a cap now. But sometimes it's okay. Like this was fine. You know, it's my first time on here, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I got a cap. Not gonna lie.
It'd be real draining when there's a whole bunch of people arguing and stuff.
Yeah.
And that we want to have a discussion. Everybody have their take on everything, you know. So, which is cool. So that's the space that me and sis have over here. So,
this was not draining at all. I look tired from my own stuff, but it's nothing with y'all. This show was good, but yeah, I get tired easily now. But yeah,
I know how it is, mommy. Believe me.
Yes.
But thank y'all so much for coming to rock with us, and hopefully down the line in the near future or sooner, y'all can come rock with us again. You're welcome to it. Just y'all have my email. Just let me know. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming to chill with us tonight.
Yeah.
Thank everyone. Thank everyone in chat. Thank everyone who's watching and who will watch in the future. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you too.